The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a zero becomes a one, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance. The moment of creation is a form of magic, where an off becomes an on, a zero becomes a one, then another, and another, until, deep in the complexity, you discover order, speed, reliability, power. Experience the WD BLACK NVMe SSD. Fueled by darkness. Level up to NVMe SSD performance.
Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and in association with ACT Fibernet and AFK Gaming. I'm your host, Blackjack. Joining me is my co-host, Foxy and Armin Eisen, as we are here for Day 2 of Division 2 of Season 1. And what a match we are starting out with, ladies and gentlemen. Not only is it Oregon, but it is a TR8 Valiants versus E-Samurai Esports. A big game coming up for all of our viewers at home right now. And this is one that both of us, all of us, in fact, are very excited to watch and cast. But before that, the quintessential question, the most important one. Foxy, how do you feel today?
I feel amazing, Blackjack. I've got so much energy packed in me just for this one match. 300 Valiants versus E-Samurai Esports. We got to see some amazing performance coming in from Valiants yesterday. A 7-0 victory over Love Bomb. Obviously, We did have some ups and downs, in terms of how they happen to play. But hey, Samurai Esports, I'm not gonna count them out of this competition. It's in fact this might be the hottest match that we might get to see in Division Two. But hey, I might be wrong. There's so many teams. There's so much fun happening in this division, and as I like to call it, this is indeed the bloodbath division. You happen to meet so many. You happen to meet so many teams here that that just happen to have the same competitive level, skill set, and just the way they happen to be practicing. It does come down to how you happen to practice as a team as well. Coming to that, Division Two, just amazing stuff. I'll be expecting more from both these teams, but right now, what I'm sure is that we are in for an amazing match. So let's not waste any more time, people, and let's get right into the match. It's gonna be Oregon T100 Valiance versus Samurai Esports, and we'll be heading straight up into the van phase. Blackjack, take it away.
Thank you for that beautiful introduction into the game, Foxy. And we are indeed here on Oregon in the ban phase between Valiance and ESM. A reminder to all of our viewers that Valiance had a fantastic game yesterday against Team Lovebomb, 7-0 to them, while ESM, they had a little bit of trouble dealing with Nat, but they finally managed to win it 7-4. Here in the ban phase between both these teams is going to be a very interesting encounter, as Thatcher will be banned first and foremost. Once again, no real need to go into detail about why Thatcher has been banned, as we see this time and time again, but Capital will face the second ban on map Oregon. And excuse me right there, not really too surprising per se. Capital has been facing a slightly increased ban rate as of recently, and a lot of people might question why. Well, that's just down to how much area he can control and suppress for defenders with those firebolts and smoke bolts. That's a lot of line of sight and hiding areas that are otherwise taken care of by one single attacker. You don't want to do that. That and the fact that, he's a 3-speed, and 3-speeds are known to be very deadly in Rainbow Six. First defender to be banned in the meanwhile is going to be Mira. Once again, no surprises right there. Mira, Oregon, it's a combination that has stood the test of time, old Oregon, and even in the reworked version, as Wamai will be the final one banned on this map. Just like we explained yesterday, Wamai is one of those operators that you really wouldn't see banned when Echo was still in play. But of course, with Echo out of the board right now, Wamai is being banned a whole lot more because unlike Jaeger, who can just throw his ADS and other utilities down and just roam however he wants, Wamai can't exactly do that. He has to sort of hold down one position, get his magnets, throw them around, and then make the defensive strategy work. And it has to work around him. It is a little restrictive in its own way. So banning Wamai frees up a lot of things for both defenders and attackers, more specifically attackers, but even then, even for defenders, they can go and pick some other operators that they may not have otherwise been able to with Wamai in play. He is that good, and he is, excuse me, he is not only that good, he is that useful, even as a band operator. And with that, we are, of course, already underway with round one. Excuse me, out there, my voice. My voice seemed not to be supporting me for a second there. But anyway, let's have a quick look at both of the rosters that we have here in the lobby for us today. From the side of ESM, we've got Shulker playing today, Avim, Platoon Kid, Mike, and Hamza. And from the side of TRNA Valiance, we've got Kostov, Kingslayer, Hermione, Dibjal, and Salim Shady. That's a nice name right there. Round one is underway on Basement Laundry and Supply Room. And with that, Foxy, I pass it on to you.
Yeah, I like the way you happen to transition it onto me. Honestly, it's very smooth. Feels so effortless. That out of the way. We're here. We're getting the prep done. That is going to be from Mike. He's just going to make sure everything is well and good. Obviously, the man with the shotgun, more soft breaching capacity at least on the side of the defense. We'll be seeing the drone works coming in from the side of Valiance, and very standard stuff here. I'm not exactly getting to see a whole lot more bizarre or weird stuff, and I wouldn't really be expecting that either from Valiance right now. It's going to be Costa. That is the ace. We did see ace having to be such a huge change in terms of how the hard breach is being approached in this game. Right now, it's going to be the map of Oregon as well. So that means so much more emphasis in terms of how you happen to use hard breach. Costa making his push. I'm not sure if he's noticed The Goyo pushing back. He did actually push that back on the side, and Pakhtun Kid will be all the way back on side. Look at that. The Dipjo is making sure that he gets the drone work done. Kostov is ready to help him with the Selma breaches as well, while the flank is being watched by Kingslayer on the IQ. A little bit of aggression from Hamza, who's the guy. We did see him play on top of the white stairs, but right now it's gonna be the push happening from the bunkers, that is the blue bunkers. Has a very tight angle being held by the man, that is Goyo. While amazing stuff in terms of how the flank watch is being done. But no, the push-up is in from the Goyo. He might as well be found. No, he did get found though. But they just couldn't convert that into a frag. We'll be seeing the standard drone work being done and three ADSs, all three of the ADSs on the Eagle will be employed. Didn't think that the projectiles don't go out, but one of them will indeed. And the Ass is going to make sure that's quick work of that. Goyo Shield and here goes a frag. It's going to be Kingslayer starting off things. Hamza takes the fall. A very ill-advised, very ill-timed flank, honestly. So much more time left on the clock. 1 minute left. We're still getting to see the hatch breach done, while the main breach with the Selma charges will be coming in from across at any moment now. Salim Shady still watching the flank on the top of the meeting split. We've still got the push-up coming in while the defense is feeling the heat of this moment. Mike has definitely understood that. That way he's going to be banking himself upon that shield that he's got for himself. Could throw in a smoke babe. He'll just have to fall back. You know how the fucking babes work, but right now it's going to be Dipjo making the push along with the Zofia. But that's going to be the ace. That's going to be the ace. Kostov tries to go in, but no, it's going to be Dipjo gets a frag and then dies to the smoke grenade that Mike deployed. That's one hell of a refrag from the grave. But here's Salim Shady. He's going to get one on the shotgun. He takes the fall as well, and this is going really well. It's all under Pakhtun Kid. The Goyo's got to make this into something useful. Kingslayer takes the fall, but Kostov is already going for the planner, but he wants a rifle along as Dion and Valence are going to make sure they get that final kill in, and it'll be Salim Shady to make sure he sends out a bullet that has the Qaid's name written on it. A really good run. The Goyo's name written on it. Will be going into the instant replay, Act 5 minutes instant replay rather. And taking a look at what just happened. Just amazing stuff coming in from Valiance and a good start for themselves on attack when it comes to a map like Oregon.
Absolutely well said, Foxy. When it comes to a map like Oregon, you want to make sure that you get your attacking rounds in order as soon as possible. Valiance have done that at least for the first round, and a beautiful push, especially right towards the end from Salim Shady, taking those 2 kills as the Zofia when it was really needed. Mind you, if those 2 kills hadn't gone off and if the situation was still a 4v3 going forward into the round, then there was a much higher possibility of ESM winning that round through the virtue of holding for time. Seeing as round 1 on Basement Laundry didn't quite work out, they're going to move up to second floor dorms nice and quickly. Interestingly enough, Pakhtun Kid is playing the FO12 on Ella as well, bringing in that Polish shotgun that is actually very effective. One of the best auto shotguns in the game right now, if I may say so myself. But, you know, again, it is, of course, a shotgun, so you want to restrict yourself to close quarter gunfights as much as you can. Or just opening up rotations. That is, of course, what Pakhtun Kid is doing with most of his shells from the looks of things. From the side of the attackers, no really big changes coming out. The main thing is that I see Hermie1 playing the Maverick, and when it comes to pushing second floor dorms, you see a Maverick and some sort of other hard breacher. This time it's an ace, but sometimes, well, we used to get to see Thermite in that role before, and we've even seen Hibana in that role of the other hard breacher. As usually, as we see Hermie1's taken that construction spawn, usually you see the Maverick pushing towers, making maybe a soft wall breach or just a tiny little rotation hole that he can use to sneak his way in there.
A bomb has been located.
Already we can see that that is exactly what the side of Valiance have planned. The half wall trick coming out with Salim Shady once again holding down from the back, but here's Pakhtun Kid. He's trying to establish some verticality right now, watching such that he doesn't break the electro cloud that's up there. Not that it was gonna matter too much, given that it is of course Maverick, but there we go, soft wall made and breached thanks to Zofia. Quickly done by Valiance, but now they have to worry about meeting. I'm not even sure if they know of Hamza.
Blackjack, I'm so sorry to interrupt you here, but I just want to point out the fact that that was so satisfying to watch the Maverick trick and then the soft breach. That was done to perfection.
Oh yes.
It takes a lot of practice to get that done. So, Hermie1, you've got my respect.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hermie1 has all of our respect right now, as we all know that it can be a little pesky getting that softball trick done. So always nice to see that be applied flawlessly. Oh, Kingsler is going to find one in the meanwhile. Hamza goes down. That's a big drop right now, as the IQ has started things off. There is no downs coming out yet, but summer breaches are going off. That's cost of trying to get into sight through the games room wall. 50 seconds is pretty much what remains for the side of TRN8 right now, and so far no bodies, aside from Hamza of course, have dropped. That was inside a meeting as far as I remember, but the Ella is still playing down there, which means that Maverick will have, well, actually no, anybody pushing through that big tower wall might have some issues, but it doesn't look like anybody will be pushing through there, as everyone's going through small tower with a potential white stairs push. Valiants need to get in there with the diffuser. There's an L inside of security. I believe they know, as they seem to be cornering Paktoon Kid in this situation right now. He will go for a peek, but oh, that shotgun comes out, and he will take down Salim Shady. The Zofia falls as the sister rivalry goes in favor of the defender today, but Hermie1's going to fire back by taking down Shulker. As another one goes down, that's Hermie1 on the refrag, and more refrags are coming out. Bodies are dropping. It's now 2v2. The Meister pushes out. He's going to go down as well on white stairs, and it's all down to Mike, the last defender standing. The plan is going off. Will the C4 come out in time? Yes, it does! Mike with the beautiful play right there towards the end. C4's the planter, and unfortunately the cover was not in where it should have been from the side of Valiance, as ESM will claw out round 2 out of the clutches of certain defeat. And Mike, with a beautiful C4 toss at the end, will make sure that the early round equalizer comes in. ESM are now 1-1 going to round 3.
Well, I've got to give it to that C4, but more importantly, the Ella shotgun play. Oh my god. That was more than just useful. That did so much damage to the way the attackers happened to be pushing. I almost thought for a second that when the prone peak came in from the bottom of the white stairs, the Ella will not be able to survive that. But hey, the Ella she just went out on it. Really well done. Going ahead, obviously commending Mike for that amazing play, that C4. Very well calculated. He knew exactly that all he's got to do is make sure that the clock is on his favor, and he did exactly that. Was wasting enough time, and towards the end, a C4 and just a call on the phone did the job for him. Let's see going ahead what we've got for ourselves. Round 3 will be underway, and 1-1 scoreline, just like Blackjack happened to state, the equalizer was so much more needed, and boy oh boy, this is getting exciting. Shelter will be seeing him around the Jaeger while we've got the Maestro being employed. A quick look at the scoreboard as well. Yeah, there we go. Quite interestingly, so we have a win on the Maestro. That's a very bizarre and a very rare sight, honestly. Don't see him play that operator, not much, but maybe he's just big Maestro for the Orla. And honestly, I wouldn't blame him. Orla it's just such an amazing gun. You want to have that for yourselves and bring that gunpowder to yourselves as well. Meanwhile, the Nomad pick from the side of Valiance is definitely going to affect the way they happen to be working around this, because I did see Kingslayer bring out the IQ before, but right now he's going to be back in the operator. He's a little more comfortable playing with. I've seen Kingslayer play Nomad quite a bit now, and yeah, the flank watch will be a whole lot more easier for the side of the attack. Standard stuff being done with getting the T3 control, and then making sure that the big tower control is eventually established as they try and make their push, or at least mount their push towards the site. The site is obviously going to be on the laundry rooms, that is all the way downstairs. We did see Samurai Esports failing at that in the first round. Maybe this time around they have a better luck at what they're trying to do. But it does come down to not just luck, obviously. It's a very skillful game which has very, I would say, very determinable outcomes in terms of how you happen to play it. But that's philosophical, Foxy, if you'd ask me. Right now, let's just enjoy the game. Back to this, Paktoon Kid just watching that little angle, and we'll be seeing Mike blow up that Goyo shield and fall back right in time. Looks like he just wants to make sure he falls back, and look at that. Look at Hermie1. Boy, this is so satisfying to watch. He is so perfect with his Mavericks blowtorch. I want to know what he's done to get himself that kind of confidence, and more importantly, that kind of precision, the way he happens to use it, not even wasting one single fuel charge on that blowtorch. But coming back to that, we'll be seeing the push-up finally happening, but oh boy, the Goyo does not know this. The girl tries to push up, but he does not know that either, but the Goyo has fallen back. We're seeing the push-up coming in any moment now. 5 versus 5, and that only means that the 1 minute that is left on the clock is going to be a bloodbath coming in from both these teams. Let's see who happens to be on top of each other, though, at least at this point in this round. Angles being watched and drones being thrown in to get as much information as TN and Valiant can for themselves. Right now, it's not a matter of information. It's a matter of getting these picks and, more importantly, the crossfires that are being held on site. Are we swinging wide about this? It's going to be Paktoon Kid and Shulker who have to be taking the first fight. But no, it's going to be Costa who gets one. Hamza is here with the refrag right back onto Dibjol. That's not going to be on the same person. The one down comes in, and there goes another. Everyone is going to get Hamza. A 4 versus 3 with the revive back in place, but Salim Shady will not be revived. A 1 versus 4 all of a sudden. It's all under Mike, but again, he gets a frag. He gets a double. Can he get 2 more? He knows exactly where that Zofia is. He goes wide about this, but he's still not able to find him. Salim Shady solo on HP. Now Mike is got to go wide about this, and he'll be dispatched. Salim Shady gets that frag, and boy, oh boy, that was a scramble towards the end of the round there, but it will be the attackers, that is TR and Valiant, walking away with the advantage, at least for the moment right now. And what a finisher. We'll be taking a quick look at that in the Act 5 minutes instant replay. What a round coming in from both these teams. Stalling, and towards the end, a frenzy of kills and a bloodbath that I just love to witness. Round 4 will be underway. With that being said, and TR and Valiant are in the minor lead, at least for the moment.
The early round lead going the way of TRNA Valiants after a fantastic late round scramble right there. Just like Foxy said, as we can see, Kingslayer and Salim Shady doing most of the early game fragging work. 5 and 4 to them, while of course ESM, they haven't had much in the way of kills, but they've been trying to play for time. And of course, in that case, most of your operators are going to be undercover anyway. Interestingly enough, they've decided not to they decided not to go back to basement laundry, and
but
they
that
have.
being said, we'll be going ahead into the prep phase of round 4. We've got Paktoon Kid,
Foxy?
just getting some standard reinforcement done. I'm liking the setup that I'm getting to see from them. The kitchen and dining out, most obviously.
Okay.
I got Aveen is back on the Valkyrie, the MPX. Most definitely something that you want to bring on board. It's not just the camps and the information trade-off that you'll be having for yourselves when you have the Valkyrie, but also the MPX. That is something that is very underrated. That being said, Blackjack looks like you're back. We're beginning the mic back.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh boy. Anyway, coming back to the round at hand, ladies and gentlemen, 2-1 is the scoreline, and just like Foxy said, and just like I was about to point out, this is an interesting site that the side of East Samurai have decided to go on round 4, which is of course kitchen and dining. Nothing as surprising as kitchen and meeting room, of course. That's the site that we saw Monka S defend pretty much perfectly a couple nights ago, but unfortunately that was in Division 1, and here we are in Division 2. ESM won't be going to that site for the time being. Flashbangs are already coming out to try and burn out ADSs that could potentially be on small tower, but none to be found. Either that or they've been burnt out already. As drones are coming out slowly but surely from the side of Valiants, they want to make sure that everything goes their way, as Goyer shields are going to be deployable shields, and Goyer shields are of course going to be pinged. And Ash Dibjol is already in small tower, going for a prone peek towards where the Maestro is. Goyer shields on the pop, by the way, as the Maestro is going to see that and take out Salim Shady. Unfortunate for Salim Shady, that is. Hamza, he was on the evil eye when he needed to be, and he took that kill more than happily. Valiants have lost a big operative early, of course, as the Zofia would have been very, very useful to take that, to take not just Maestro, but more than a lot of operators down for the side of Valiants. Unfortunately, they're going to just have to play around the fact that Salim Shady is not here this round. Oh, Hamza, he nearly saw the Ash this time. Missed his opportunity, however, and he's going to just sit back behind that Goyer shield as a line of sight is being opened slowly. But Kingslayer is going to find a Vim in the meanwhile. There's a big drop, as that is the Valkyrie down. Hamza's taking some damage as well. Paktoon Kid is trying to play around that hallway, but no, it's a 4v3 as Hamza, the Maestro, will finally drop, and it's all down to Mike, Paktoon Kid, and Shulker in this last minute situation. Positive is in. He's trying to go for the plant right now. It's a little risky planting here, but he should have enough cover. The C4 comes out again. Will it find him? No, it doesn't. Looks like it's been shot, and the plant will in fact go off. Hermie1 finds one, as there's a lot of damage being done to Mike, who has been down, leaving Shulker the last one standing, effectively speaking. And where is the Jaeger in a 1v4 post-plant situation? He's coming up the bathroom hallway. He will see one. He will find one. Will he find the Ash? He does! But there's the instant refract from Hermie one. Unfortunately for Shulker, he could not confirm in time as we get to see in the Act 5-minute instant replay, ladies and gentlemen. He found the Nomad, he found the Ash, but could not confirm in time on that second kill to push for the third, and the Maverick was there to punish him for exactly that. With that being said, round 5 will be underway, and the TRNA Valiants are looking very strong right now. ESM are down 3-1 on round 5.
Well. 3-1 is a good lead for TNR Variants to pick up, especially happen to be on attack. And I'm nobody to make predictions, but just the way this happens to be going, we might as well see ESM try and fight back right now. Because if they don't, they're going to have to find themselves in a really difficult spot. They happen to go on attack. It's going to be TNR Variants showing standard stuff. And going back to the notes I have on them and going back to the way they happen to be playing, it's just the fact that TNR Variants has a huge retake potential in terms of how they happen to approach Oregon as a team. I'm not sure if it's Supreme who happens to be the mind behind the way they happen to attempt defending Oregon, but one thing I've been able to jot down is the fact that TNR Variants love playing retake when it comes to Oregon, and especially when it comes to this side. That being said, we'll be going ahead on the round 5 as Paktoon Kid is brought the shotgun once again. As I quickly conferred with Blackjack on the last round, that wasn't dining and kitchen, wasn't it?
It was.
All right. So a good round for TNR Valiants, like I said, in the dining and kitchen. They got the plan down as well. A good attempt from the Jaeger trying to go with the flank, but that was a little too late. But more importantly, it was in a place where that was swarming with the attackers. That out of the way, 3-1 is indeed the scoreline, and we'll be seeing Dibjal once again. He's brought the Ash trying to make his push. Slow and steady, at least for the moment. We'll be seeing them put a little more work into how the drone works have been put into place. So much more information trade-off that you need for yourselves, and you also have to make sure that everything goes in cohesion. You cannot just happen to drone gain information and then let that information, pass a time of no return. Conversion is what I'm looking for, and that is exactly what we've gotten to see from Valiant so far. Let's see if this time around that a change up with the shotgun being brought into place, being brought back into play from Paktoon Kid will be useful or not. The IQ that is declared down below is up playing the Nomad this time around. We did see him switch 6th pick onto the IQ though, but the Maverick is, the Maestro is not having a great time. Hamza is just going to have to fall back. I see him holding this inside of the trophy, or rather, as I like to call it, the Fox doorway, because there's a Fox statue right in front of it, very obviously. A possible flank that is, but it'll be a Weem. It's just going to have to fall back. A little low on HP. I'm not exactly sure what he's trying to achieve with that, but Hamza, meanwhile, is going to get a head cut and cost the pick the fall. It's going to be a race taken off the board, and that means no more of those Selma breaches coming up from the side of the attackers. Valiants looking very, very slow this time around in terms of how they happen to be attacking this. 4-5 is the man count ratio, and Esports want to fight back and take this Dom's victory once again. This is the only site that they want so far. They might as well be making a second victory for them on this follow-up. A rappel game from Dibjal as we get to see that on the kids' dumps, where Mike will be his immediate enemy, or at least immediate fight that he'll be able to take, while Maestro is actually going to be camping on the side where drop. But oh boy, this will be huge. The attackers are in here. Oh, the shotgun on the face, and Paktoon Kid helmet before he takes a beam down. Paktoon Kid gets another on the Salim Sharibi match. Shulker found Hermie one. It's all under Dibjal all of a sudden. The man is in a 1 versus 4. But where is the Ash even? He's inside attic, and his position is probably given away. A keeper comes out, but it won't matter because Mike is here with his SMG-11 to take him out and dispatch him out of this round. Round 5 will be going to ESM, and they'll be keeping their winning streak on kids and doms. And look at that, a distraction, and then the SMG-11 push up. We'll be taking a quick look at that in the Act 5 minutes instant replay. No, actually, we won't be taking a quick look at that because that we didn't need the instant replay for it. It was too quick for us to catch. That's right, people. A lovely distraction, and then a great frag coming in from my man Mike. That out of the way, we'll be taking a quick look at the scoreboard before we go into round 6. Look at that. Kingslayer on top of it, looking really, really comfortable, but not for long. 3-2 is a scary scoreline because ESM is looking to turn that into an equalizer.
Absolutely right there, Foxy. As ESM look to be getting closer and closer to equalizing this match, they have gone back to basement, laundry, and supply room once again. That's a little interesting right there from them, as outside of dorms, they have not won a single other site so far. TRA Valiants have made more than sure of that, and that has been the case so far in these first 6 rounds. This is, of course, the last round before role swap, so Valiants will be going into defense shortly. However, even in that situation, if Valiants were to go into defense 4-2, that would be a huge advantage for them, given that Oregon is a fairly defender-sided map. E-Samurai will be looking to avoid that, however. 3-3 going into the attack will give them a nice little platform to start that attacking jump out of. However, are they going to be able to get that platform for themselves? They have faltered on this basement defense twice now, and they need to avoid that at all costs. They've got the Kaid, they've got the Goyo, the Smoke, the Valkyrie, and of course the Jaeger. Speaking of the Valkyrie, actually, she's going to take a bit of damage. That's Hamza on that blue bunker door from the side of Boilers. I'm pretty sure that was Dibjol who did that damage. The Ash outside by the barrels. And he's going to be joined by the Ace. Kostov is here, and that's actually a soft wall that I'm looking at. ADS is going to be burned, but there's one more, mind you. Hamza's going for a peek right now. He doesn't actually get the kill, and that's unfortunate, but the Ace is very low on HP. Kostov, he was trying to throw in a smoke grenade to burn out that ADS, help Dibjol in that situation. However, he's paid a very hefty price for it. He'll have to be very careful on the kind of gunfights he picks, as deployable shields are being pinged from the side of Valence's drones. Breach charge comes out from Ash. That's going to take and down Hamza, actually. Oh, big drops right there. Dibjol completely unaware of that, however. Means that Hamza's going to be able to get away, crawl back into sight as a ping's going to go off in that direction. But Hamza will not be harmed. But, well, actually, he will go down. But Salim Shady, who was the one to confirm that kill, is going to be refragged down instantly by Shulker. Nice and quickly. Minute 29 remains as it's a 4 versus 4 between both teams. Once again, Valiants are taking their time to set things up and make sure that their execute goes off as flawlessly as possible. However, this time they've run into a little bit more of a challenge from ESM than they did in previous rounds. Mind you, Mike is still sitting here by that blue bunker bend, next to that rotation, which of course he means to reinforce off when he can. He's probably going to pull back any second now, speaking of which, of course. And that, of course, there we go. He's actually pulled back. No, Shulker's actually going to seal him out. That's a little unfortunate, as the smoke has been left high and dry on blue bunker. There goes the Goyer shield, and Mike is now caught in a realm of fire as he is holding this down with the SMG-11. How long can he stay alive for? 40 seconds remaining. Dibjol's going to find a Vim. That's a big drop right there. Kostov is the one pushing up. This could be bad for him. He's going to pull back instead and going to rejoin with Dibjol. Spectoon Kid goes down, and now Mike is left to push up from the side of the blue bunkers. Shulker's going to find one. Kostov goes down. Ash takes a bit of damage. More damage, but a knife comes out from Dibjol somehow, as Mike will take one, but Kingslayer will take him down instantly. The refrag comes in, as that was a little bit of a messy situation right towards the end, and we'll get to see that on the Act Fibernet instant replay right here, ladies and gentlemen. But that is a big win for the side of Valiants off the back of that very interesting late round finish, and they have now gone 4-2 up onto round 7, going into defense on round 7 roll swap as well, which means they have a 2-round advantage on a defender-sided map going to defense. This is about to be huge for the side of Valiants if they can keep this up, but ESM, they are not about to back down, not one bit.
That is so true, though. We'll be seeing the side swap coming in after the halftime, obviously. And I'm seeing Paktoon Kid already bring out the Lion. Very interesting pick. We did get to see the Lion pick coming out yesterday as well, when it happened to be on the map of Cafe. Good stuff, but more importantly, the fact that somehow Lion is coming back to the meta, the way we happen to be approaching these maps. Or maybe it's just the fact that TNet Valence is a little too ecstatic. They get a little too bouncy. and Pakhtun Kid wants to make sure they stay on their ground. That out of the way, we'll be seeing the SAS brothers come out. We've got Kingslayer and Dibjol bring out the smoke and the mute. That's going to be so much more information denial and plan denial accompanied with it. Costa, meanwhile, has brought the Melusi, and Salim Shady is going to be on the Valkyrie. Obviously, those camps will be helping them, but like I've always said, the MPX is actually the part where, you've got to talk about it. MPX is very underrated. Honestly, it's one of the best guns we could have in this. Anyway, that out of the way, we'll be seeing the push happening from the attackers already. They've the spawn, they're ready, while Salim Sher is going to be the one on this roam. Rocking an amazing skin that's going to be on the Lion, while we'll be seeing the push-up happening from the side of the Valkyrie. He's just trying to find any strays, anybody who's trying to make their way inside from the bottom of the big tower, or at least not for the moment, not yet. The Fox Trophy Room window, or at least the doorway, will be opened by the Zofia as Avim, that is, who tries to make his push happen. Shulker, meanwhile, he's got the Ash on for himself as well. And let's see going ahead what we've got for ourselves as this match happens to heat up so much more. Valiant's looking stronger than they were before, and like I talked about, coming back to round 4, I believe that is, the fact that Valiant happens to be on defense now is going to give them so much more advantage in terms of how they happen to approach this as a map. But will we get to see that from them? ESM has turned out to be so strong in moments that I was not expecting them to be, and they've just been doing so much more. Oh, there we go. That explains so much why you bring out the Lion, with not just having to keep them at bay, but also getting that hard breach done. A nice breach will be established for a walk-in onto site, as that's going to be the emphasis from the side of the attackers. Valiant's using their utilities to perfection, as we do see the Valkyrie camps are still not being taken care of. We don't see an IQ being employed from the side of ESM as well, so that means they're still unaware of the fact that there is somebody watching over them, and that is not God. That out of the way, we'll be seeing Salim Shady. He's trying to push up White Stairs, but no, the spot comes in. Avim taking a few shots, and he's just going to have to fall back. Take a breather for the while, because you don't want to be taking the breather too close to that door, because the toxic gas is obviously something that you'll have to inhale with it. Yeah, not the best of things. Hamza holding down the main window there as the Dibja is going to start things off. Pakhtun Kid takes the fall. He's the first one to go down. A 4 versus 5, that is, as we'll still be seeing the push happening. It's 4 versus 5. Like I said, a little confused here, people. I'm just trying to get my composure here as well. And so is Samurai Esports. 30 seconds left, and Valiants are going for a very late drone, that is, but it's a very understood one from the side of Hamza, because he wants to make sure before he goes in for the push, he knows exactly into what territory he happens to be walking into. The push will be in, but no, that's a flank, and look at that. The Zofia takes the fall, and that's a diffuser as well. That's an amazing flank from Kingslayer. All eyes on him now. Hermione gets another. Hamza takes the fall. It's all under Shulker and Mike. Shulker already in a fight along with Mike. Mike is down. Shulker is low on HP. The push-up is in, and that's the clean-up and the flawless round from Tian and Valiants. And we don't get to see that every day, as they'll be cementing the lead in this match, going ahead and making this a 5-2. We'll be taking a quick look at that in the instant replay, as look at that. Great stuff coming in from Tian and Valiants. And round 8 will be underway with the scoreline 5-2. Valiants sit one round away from match point. And boy, oh boy, this is not something I was expecting going out from this match. But the match is not over yet, people. We could see a possible comeback coming in from ESM. Don't count them out yet. At least I'm not.
Right now, ESM sit at a very precarious situation. If they let Valiants get away with one more round, Valiants will be on match point and that much closer to victory, which will be that much more pressure for ESM to try and play around with. As we have a quick look at the scoreboard right there, 11 kills to Kingslayer, who has been doing a lot of heavy-duty fragging work for his team. Very, very well done from the man. And of course, the support from his teammates has clearly been paying off. 5-2 in the lead. Valiants are looking very strong once again, and nothing less to be expected from a former Division 1 team, of course. who, and why I say that is because they were Division 1 in the last season of the previous league. And it was an absolutely amazing story that they had getting to Division 1 as well. They qualified in Season 3, went to Division 2 in Season 4, and then went to Division 1. And not only that, but they gave the best teams in Division 1 a run for their money. ESM are right now facing that same challenge from the side of Tiana Valiants, and so far they have not been able to rise up to it, you know, as effectively and to the extent that they would have wanted to. They still have a few chances here that they will need to take with as much certainty as they can if they want to win this match. 3 rounds to equalize, then a round to match point, then a round to victory, and that's not counting the fact that Valiants could win a stray round here or there, even giving themselves the victory. That is, of course, the best case scenario right now for ESM. They need to play absolutely pitch perfect, make as few mistakes, as possible, and try to just outplay Valiants, who are holding in many ways. That last round, very well done. Valiants, they were very patient, waited for ESM to push in, waited for them to peak. They knew ESM would, as ESM as a team is quite on the aggressive side, and they just baited that out and punished them for it. This time we've got a Maverick tree coming out on the meeting room hatch. The Kaid has seen that. Not much he can do about that, though. Shots are being fired from Kingsley. In the meanwhile, he knows somebody's on the back tower stairs, as a flank is being brought out potentially from the mute, or it was the smoke. I forget who was towards the side of Freezer. But once again, Valiants are more than content to let the time run its course and let ESM come to them instead. They're playing into the meta very well. Shulker holding that flashbang. He's waiting for Mike to get the hatch breach done. It's taken a while, but there we go. That's quite a lot of fuel wasted as well. But he's got it done, and that's what really matters. It looks like the push is going to be down that meeting room hatch and potentially backstairs. Kingsler's got the backstairs area, but he's going to go down, actually. Mike's going to take him off the board through a little line of sight that was made by the defenders themselves, being used against them. That's a big drop early, as Kingsler is very influential right now for the side of Valiants. Hatch drop comes in as well towards that connecting room. Shots are going to be fired any second now, as Mike's going to make his way. Mike's going to watch that hatch, actually, but Tunk is going to make his way into Boiler Room, and it's going to be a last-minute scramble once again from both teams. But Tunk is trying to peek. He will see the Kaid take him out, and now it's a 3v5. Valiants are looking a little shaky right now, but they still have time on their side. Make that a potential that it might not work out, but no, there's the diffuser drop from Kostov onto Mike. Hip fires him down, but Herman's going to go down instead, as the Ash will be taken care of as well. A double kill from Kostov. He's the last one remaining for his team. Can he cuss this out? He cannot. Avim on the long angle from inside of Laundry Room will finish him off, as we will see it in the Act 5-minute instant replay right here. It was unfortunate for the side of Valiants. They tried to bait out ESM once again, but they were read into perfectly and punished for, well, not taking those peaks. Sometimes with ESM, the bait works, sometimes it doesn't. ESM read into that defensive strategy very, very well. We're headed back to basement, laundry, and supply room, as it is now 5-3 in favor of Valiants, who are only 2 rounds in the lead now.
This is exactly what I talked about before the last round happened to transpire. The fact that we are getting to see ESM trying to fight back and make that comeback is totally a dream that could be possible. You know, it's definitely out there in the books, but no. I would beg to differ, honestly. I think the way they're pacing right now, the way they look like, no offense, but Tiana Williams is looking so much more composed, the way they happen to be doing stuff, except for the last round, obviously. ESM walking away with a very, very satisfactory victory in the last round. 5-3 is indeed the scoreline. And we've got ourselves heading into round 9, and the site is once again going to be on the side of Laundry. Tiana Williams looking to cement their victory and taking this to match point, but ESM is having other plans for them. Let's see how long they can hold them at bay. Maybe this might be the round that we might see them go to match point, or this might be the round where we might understand the fact that ESM is not here for just hanging around. They want to make sure they make this comeback happen, and they want to make sure that they get this match in their favor. Costos brought up the mute. We've got the smoke once again. That's the double duty SAS operators, as I like to call it. Or Muon on the Goyo. I really love the fact that the Goyo being employed and so much more volume. Just the way this map happens to be. And look at that. Hamza, I think he's lost his HP off of his own teammate, maybe out of an accident. I'm not sure where that came out from, but he's solo HP. Very, very, very low. That is abysmal. Like, boy, oh boy, where did he get that damage from? I'm not sure from where, but right now it does not matter. Already the push is happening from the attackers on the back stairs. That is the big tower stairs. And this does get hurt by the defenders, most obviously, with the Valkyrie camps coming in from Dipjol as well. Avi, meanwhile, he's going to be on the Zofia, and the push will be in from his side any moment now. All the way on the side of kitchen, he's just going to make sure he throws the drone on and watches for any flank. A good way to watch a flank, honestly. All the breaches will be happening on the side of meeting room, and that is still on the hatches. We don't get to see a whole lot of emphasis in terms of how Variance happens to be approaching this map, because usually we see so many teams happening to go a little overboard in terms of how their blue bunker push happens to be. But right now, Variance is a little more invested in terms of how they want to establish control and anti-roam. Excuse me, I completely happened to say the other name. I meant Samurai Esports. I'm a little confused here, but yeah, Samurai Esports banking on too much on the anti-roam rather, and making sure they get more map control done and not happening to push the blue bunker. We did get to see a change up when it came down from Valiance. They happened to emphasize a little bit, at least two operators that happened to be on the side of the blue bunkers. Let's see what we've got for ourselves going ahead into this match. Already a peak coming in from the ashes. Making sure that all of the flashbangs are done and dusted for, because the ADSs are what are catching them out. He's going to spot the battery, but no, it's going to be a fall for him indeed. The MPX does not work this time, and Dipjol is going to hit himself on the head for that, because that was an obvious peak that he was not supposed to make, but he still took that chance. And boy, oh boy, his calculations were wrong. The Vito once again is in from the ashes, taking so many shots. Hermie are not having a great day. Kingsley gets thumbs up meanwhile. Well, I'm not sure where this scramble is going on. And Jaeger is going to take the fall. He gets double duty on. And the push-up will be in, but there's so many angles to watch right now for the attack team. As one falls and the refract comes right back in. It's 2 versus 3. Hermie and Salim Shetty is all that is left for waiting to make sure that this stays alive for them. But no, push-up from Avim as well from the main stairs. 15 seconds left, the plant is about to go down. The push-up is in. Avim breathing so much more of that toxic gas, and the Goyo shield so much is happening right now. The plant is going down, but he gets that kill anyway. What was that? Avim is an absolute beast, but he gets shut down by the smoke. The smoke trying to make this push, but there's the Maverick to shut him down, and Mike will be walking away with that. Esports round 9 for themselves, and more importantly, will be bringing them closer all the while to this equalizer that I'm looking at for this team to make round 10 will be underway indeed, and we are only in the 1 round difference between both these teams. We take a quick look at that in the Act 5 minutes instant replay right now on your screens, people, and round 10 will be underway with a possible comeback from ESM.
ESM right now are making things happen, making sure that even if it is a defender-centered map, Valiants have to work for each and every one of those round wins that they need right now. And they have been shutting down the defensive strategy of Valiants, which is to sit back and wait for the attackers. And of course, one can say that some of the peaks that were made, unfortunately, were not exactly what was required from them, especially, for instance, the one from Dibjol, who was playing Valkyrie in the last round, pushing up blue bunker. That was a little, unnecessary. He didn't particularly need to go for that, especially because there was an Ash in that region, Sometimes you want to pick your gunfights with the utmost caution, and unfortunately, it didn't quite seem like Dibjol, was about to win that fight anyway. NPX versus R4C. I mean, we all know who's going to win that gunfight, regardless. Second floor dorms is the side of choice here on round 10, as Valiants have lost a hefty amount of the lead that they had only a couple of rounds ago, and full props to ESM for that. But now that we're back on dorms, which is the defender site that Valiants managed to win, it's going to be interesting to see how ESM are going to approach this one. This is where Valiance's sit back and wait for them plan worked very, very well. Of course, that is like a massive oversimplification of Valiance's plan, but at the end of the day, that's just how I paced what I wanted to say there. But coming back to the point at hand, excuse me, they're coming back to the point at hand. Valiant are going to be trying that again from the looks of things. They have the shield, the same shield setup. They have the same way, similar operators, excuse me, with Melusi in play this time from Kostov to slow down the attackers even more. But summer breaches are already going off towards that gaming room wall, and the soft wall breach is coming in from the Maverick out towards Attic as well. There we go. The wall's been made soft. Very well done by Mike. And there's Shulker to confirm the opening as two hard breaches have gone off. And Vim's already inside of Armory with the Claymore, making sure that nobody can flank him like it happened last time. He's going to burn out one ADS nice and quickly and throw in maybe an impact or two to try and get rid of some more defender utilities as a reinforcement runoff. I'm not exactly sure where. Oh, that's Kostov towards the side of kids' dorms, making sure that, the attackers have just that little bit extra difficulty getting to those defender kills. Once again, we can see that Valiance, I believe they have one or two operators downstairs on first floor for big flank moves. In fact, there are two. That should be the Valkyrie and the Mute once again, Kingsley and Salim Shady. And that could be big for them. ESM, in the meanwhile, pushing in slowly but surely as Dipjo's going to throw out a gas canister. And Harmy One's going to confirm on long against of him. A big drop comes in, but Baktunka is trying to push in through the smoke. Will he see the smoke? Yes, he will. He's going to find Dipjo, and Kostov goes down as the ESM is coming in once again. Hermy One is going to go down, but a C4 is not going to confirm onto anybody. The Valkyrie goes down on white stairs as well. And there goes Kingslayer. A very unfortunate round from the side of Valiant, as they just could not hold on inside a side. And the Mute, well, there was only one way he could have gone, and he was taken down on his route to a big flank. As finally ESM have come a long way for this, and they have managed to equalize 5-5 on round 11, reading into Valiance's defensive strategy perfectly 3 times in a row. And they'll need to do that just a couple more times to shut down Valiance from winning this match. And Valiance are going to need to change things up if they want to restore their status as the leaders here.
Honestly, it's just amazing to see Samurai Esports make black. It puts so much more adrenaline in me and gets me so much more excited. The fact that they've been winning back-to-back 3 rounds. Not one round at TN and Valiance has been able to sneak up in between that, because Samurai Esports, the moment they knew that, all right, Radiance is 1 round away from match point, let's make sure that they don't reach it. And very bizarrely, it's happening on attack. Great gun skill, more importantly, great game sense I'm getting to see from Samurai Esports. It's working in cohesion, helping each other out, and just some lovely teamwork. Honestly, that's some of the best stuff I've seen so far in the last 3 rounds that I got to see from ESM. So yeah, most definitely. Let's see what we've got for ourselves going ahead in this match. Round 11 will indeed be underway, and yeah, I'll keep that little information I was about to tell you guys later when we happen to be reliving the moments of this match. That out of the way, we'll be seeing the Hollow being employed from the Ash. Shulker, I'm not sure if that's the best side he should be going for, but hey, no, that is in fact the Hollow from the Ash. That's the only side that is available for it as well. But anyways, that out of the way, we'll be seeing Paktoon Kid. Paktoon Kid is the guy I was talking about. Yes, not Shulker. Anyways, that out of the way, we've got some standard drone works being done and whatnot, and we'll be seeing him just get on the white van and on towards the side of the balcony, trying to get the breaches done. That's obviously what Paktoon Kid will have to be doing. He is, in fact, the ace who has to get the Selma breaches done. Standard stuff, but no push-up from the side of the attackers except for Avim. Very aggressive, very static, trying to find a kill here. He might as well, so because I don't think the defenders are aware of the fact that somebody has pushed up so awfully close. The audio cues most definitely will give his position away, but right now it's going to be the fact that, oh, there you go, look at that. The Valkyrie cams is what is giving away so much more information, as Zofia's, my personal favorite dialogue the entirety of this match, goes out. Miss me, Zofia says that, but yeah, Salim Shady Mima is going to get that frag onto Shulker. A C4 goes out, does not claim anything. Paktoon Kid does take a lot of damage from that C4, but right now he's just going to be hanging on to his life.
Bomb located by attackers.
The 4 versus 5 as established as Kostov is going to shotgun Paktoon Kid out of existence, while Mike is here to get a refrag with Dipjot. A 4 versus 3. Still trying to get those three fires in. Mike gets one. Hamza gets another. And ESM starts to pop off once again. It's all out of Kingslayer and Herbie one. Kingslayer. No, that'll be Herbie one taking the fall. It's all out of Kingslayer. No 1 versus 3. Hamza is down. That means it's essentially a 1 versus 2. Excuse me right there. But you've got the push up in. He does not know where that Zofia is. No, he's spotting the battle. And he's going to actually try and tag him on the fist. The palm takes a little bit of damage. He's got a bleeding hand now. The Zofia's got to turn around and make sure that Kingslayer takes down. But no, there's no breach that has happened because Ace already employed its Selma breaches. And looks like the attackers want to attempt this. And look, just the way they happen to be looking at this, they won't be attempting the plan just yet. As the drive has come back in onto Hamza as well. A 3 versus 1, very truly so. And we'll be seeing Kingslayer solo and HP taking so many attacks. Both these attackers have their eyes on this one single doorway. There's no way he does anything about this. The moment he peeks, he'll be done and dusted. LB Hamza still watching this angle though. A possible push-up could come in. A possible rotate is in the books, but no. Like I said, it's Hamza who's going to clean him up, and he's some of the esports people beating all odds is going to go to match point.
Oh, what a beautiful 4 rounds back-to-back from the side of ESM. They have completely shut down the side of Valiance. And not only that, they have read into that late round strategy. I keep saying this, but that is purely fact at this point. That Valiance, you know, their strategy of allowing the meta to do the work for them hasn't exactly worked out, as a first floor kitchen and a dining hall will be the site of choice. From the side of Valiance, they are changing things up drastically by going to this site right now with the castle in play and a Goyo to boot. Maisha will be brought in by Dibjil as well. So this should be a very interesting round coming out, because the only other time we've seen first floor kitchen and dining was back on round 4 when Valiance were the ones attacking, and they were able to take this site quite effectively alongside, of course, second floor dorms when ESM was defending on the first half of the game. ESM are the ones on match point. Interestingly enough, of course, I completely forgot to notice that, as we were talking about Valiance being the ones to go to match point first. They were on 5 points first. However, they were not able to do that. ESM have done that very well and very, very consistently, winning rounds back to back. Coming to this point has been a climb. It's been a bit of a challenge for them, but they are now on the precipice of victory. Valiance stand on the precipice of failure against ESM. It's been a great game so far, but I'm pretty sure Valiance will not be giving up here. Paktunkid somehow manages not to get onto the balcony of bedroom right there through that white van. That little trick that actually became a part of New Oregon. But even then, he's going to manage to do that. A little bit of a parkour stunt right there. As it is going to be a second floor clearance first, I believe, from TSM. They want to make sure that the Romans are taken care of. And oh no! Dibjo was completely unaware. He was busy making rotates. And he's going to go down. But Hamza's going to be refragged onto by the Jaeger nice and quickly. And that's a drop from Salim Shady. And this is slowly heating up between both teams. 4v4. And we're not even done with the 2-minute mark. And there's a breach going on towards Attic as Salim Shady is going to find another one. Now Vim goes down. And now there's a push coming in from Big Tower, from the Maverick and the Ash, leaving Paktunkid, the Ace, the only other one unaccounted for. There we go. The soft breach is done. Shulker is actually droning, leaving the Maverick to try and turn that soft wall, try and delete that soft wall. And he's just going to have to waste a few bullets for that for the time being, as Paktunkid's holding on towards bedroom, trying to find where Salim Shady is. But the Jaeger, of course, has pulled back, and he's just not... Yeah, he's pulled back. He's on the hallway behind a Gur shield. He's just chilling down here. He knows he doesn't have to do anything more above. He's done more than enough damage to ESM, at least for the time being. And all they have to do once again is wait for ESM to trip up. Especially with only 3 operators remaining, ESM stands a higher possibility of tripping up right now, like Valiance wants. But knowing them, they will probably somehow manage to avoid that, maybe even win this round. There's a drop in the meeting coming out from the Maverick as Mike, he breached that attic hatch. He's gone down towards meeting, and now there could be a push from the back wall of sight. Paktunkid is going to bring out his Selma breaches, and there we go. Breach has begun. Hard breach is coming in. An impact trick comes out as soon as the strip gets opened. Hatch is being walked, and soft breach is being used for verticality's sake. And there we go, Paktoon Kid. He's going to make sure that the opening is made nicely for himself and Mike. But Shulker's going to take so much damage from the UMP firing in his direction. Shulker is going to do a lot of damage in reverse to Hermie 1. But neither of the FBI operators are taken off the board, and it's still a 4v3 going into the last 20 seconds of the round. It's going to be a big scramble right now. Kingslayer takes a bit of damage. He's more than alive, and this denial could come out very well from the side of Valiance. They're looking into it. Grenades are being cooked as, oh, that's going to miss, and that's going to do some damage to Platoon Kid instead. Kostov, he's outside of meeting right now, but is it going to matter? Two go down, and Salim Shady will go down as well. There's the Maverick confirmed onto, leaving the last one standing. That is Shulker, who will be taken down by Hermie 1 as well. Valiance taking those early kills of the back of Salim Shady. That is, of course, the Jaeger making sure to get those early frags for his team, as that, as we see in the Act 5 and an instant replay right here, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be round 12 going to the side of TRN8 Valiance. And that means it is round 13. I believe everybody knows exactly what's about to come in next. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to rumble? Overtime is in play.
I cannot express how long I've waited to hear that from you, Blackjack. Hey, we are here on overtime, people. 6-6 as Paktoon Kid has joined back into the lobby as well. And so, unfortunately, we won't be having any downtime in terms of how the match is supposed to proceed ahead. But this just got so much more exciting. 6-6. Boy, oh boy. I was not expecting this. The way this match started out, a roller coaster of emotions. Valiance coming out strong in the first half, 4-2. Then it was ESM making the comeback, sitting on match point. But here's TRN8 Valiance not giving this up, not without a fight. Well, we'll be going into the match just in a moment, as we know for a fact that Paktoon Kid, excuse me there, happened to join in just a second ago. But there we go. We're into the match. And boy, oh boy, was that exciting 12th round that we got to see, and kicking us into overtime. That being said, once again, the side is going to be kitchen and dining from the side of the defense. That is TRN8 Valiance, and they've got to make sure they try and get this round, and because ESM are looking hungry for that victory that they want so direly for themselves. Obviously, if I was ESM, I would be so much more motivated to get this match done and dusted in my favor, because you have to make that comeback from such a bad defeat in the first half of the match. And hey, you're sitting here on 6-6. You also want to make sure that you convert this into something useful, possibly, at least ideally, a 8-6 in their favor. Let's see which one of them will be getting that, or will we see a overtime match point come out once again from both these teams. Most definitely, that'll be exciting to watch, as this is exactly what I keep talking about, Blackjack. Division 2 happens to be the Bloodbath division for a reason. We get to see this stuff, exciting matches, and always cutting it so close. That out of the way, we'll be seeing the push-ups happening from the side of the attackers once again, as it looks like Kingslayer has already picked up a fight with one of the Rapplers out there. That's Awim, I believe. You don't want to be peeking that, man. Awim is nuts. He's going to take you out if you happen to peek that, because he definitely has the upper hand in terms of that gunfight. He'll still be going into the Rappler lane, and so will be Mike. They like to call it the Tata Sky window because of the satellite over there. But anyways, we'll be seeing him make the push there in just a moment. Kingslayer, he's just gonna be holding on to the side. I don't see him getting too ecstatic like he was before. But hey, patience does pay off. Legion Mines coming out from him is just gonna make sure he farms every single one of them on the side of the attic, because the push from the Maverick will be in. Making the breach on the right side with the blowtorch, because you've got the sandbags to cover for yourselves, and just make sure, while you happen to be so invested into making sure all of that goes down correctly, rightly. Speaking of that, some breaches are going out from the Ace as well. That is Paktoon Kid doing so much more work, and no bodies have been dropped so far, and we're hitting the halftime of this round. 1 minute and 30 seconds left, as the push-ups will be in from either of these teams now. I'm not sure which one of them. And there you go. Hamza takes a fight, but no, he's going to lose that. What's that peek coming in from Salim Shady? That's some amazing gun skill on the man. A quick headshot is going to shut down the sledge. The trouble being from Shulker. I don't know how this is gone unnoticed. Awim is going to take the fall, but here's the kill onto the Legion. He knows there's somebody on the side of White Sage. He's just going to confirm his kill and reload his gun back on point. A 4 versus 4 re-established. The push-up is in. I'm not sure if Kostov and the Jaeger are staying downstairs for everybody's downstairs. This is exactly what I keep talking about. just the way it happens to be, they are abandoning the top floor so early. They're making so late in the round. They're just making sure that Samurai Esports losing so much more time on their side. And look at this. They do look a little scared. They do look a little, not so composed. They're just not having that structure, not that cohesion that I was expecting them to make. But right now, it's going to be the push-up from Samurai Esports that they've got to watch out for. Side breach is happening with the Selma breaches as well. Great use of utility from the side of the ace there. Still a 4 versus 4. Avim looks like he's used his self-revive, and that only means that he's going to be so low on HP, and the push-up should be in any moment now. There you go. First kill comes in. Shulker takes the kill on the Costa. He's trying to pick up another fight. Here's the castle, but no, he's going to get that frag. A really good one. A headshot is going to make sure that he dispatches him. It's all on Dibjal and Salim Shady. The plan is going down on the side. A frag goes out just to cover for him, but here's the Maestro. He's going to take the fall as well, and that's a clean up. Samurai Esports will be taking match point once again for themselves, as round 13 will be theirs, and will be going on in round 14 with ESM on 7-6. Sitting on match point with an amazing comeback.
An insane round from the side of Samurai Esports. Once again, they looked very shaken in that mid-round scramble on second floor. However, after all the operators from Valiance pulled back into sight and into lurking capacity, it seemed like ESM had just enough time to get themselves back together and decide that they needed to push down White Stairs and control room corridor while the breach was going off via the Maverick and the Ace on meeting. That was very well coordinated from them. Very well done to take down those bodies and push into sight with a 4v2, as they are now 7-6 up on the match point, and we're headed to second floor dorms from ESM. They are now on the defense on round 14, ladies and gentlemen, and Valiant, the ball is in their court to try and win this out for their side, for their team, and give themselves that second match win in the first week of play day of Division 2. Once again, a reminder, Valiants are coming into this match after a 7-0 victory yesterday over Team Love Bomb, while ESM were 7-4 over Nat. So, both teams are coming in from big victories, and ESM especially so, because they had a little bit of trouble with Nat towards the mid-game right there, while Valiants, of course, had a very, very dominating game that I'm sure Foxy remembers casting. Oh boy, that was one hell of a match. But regardless, coming back to the point at hand, Valiants, they need to clean up that mid to late round. Once they gave away second floor to the side of ESM, they gave ESM enough time to fight back and pull in and win the round. That's like, it was a fantastic turnaround from ESM in the late round. And this time it's Valiance's turn to try and pull off something similar to push for maximum overtime. That is their only chance at victory right now. They managed to fight well enough to push for overtime, but if they are not able to push for maximum overtime again, they will be looking at a very unfortunate round result right here. IQ from down below trying to find those utilities, especially the Kaid charges from Avim. Meanwhile, of course, knowing for the fact that there will be a Maverick softwall trick coming out from the side of the attackers. This softwall seems to have been tampered with a little bit, but it's not going to deter Hermie1 in the slightest. He's going to get that done nice and quickly, and doesn't actually take any damage because of him unfortunately hit those middle metal beams where he didn't need to. And none of those bullets somehow connected onto the body or head of the Maverick. Then he goes down. It's going to force him out of his position back onto meeting door. As Costa's going to find one. Hamza goes down. That's a big drop early. And that is the Maestro taken off the board. That is a huge drop. Never mind what I said about a big drop. That's a huge drop, as that's a lot of plant denial potential that ESM have just lost. Platoon Kid holding on White Stairs with that FO12. Such a powerful shotgun for the side of the defense to play around with. It could work out for them any second now, as a Shulker is going to take up... Okay, he tried to take that gunfight, but somehow did not do any damage to Salim Shady in that situation right there, as there's still a couple of defenders down below trying to play for that C4. They are still alive. Shulker's going to go back up White Stairs, actually. He's trying to maybe find some attackers on his way. Avim is the one down below that they really need to worry about, seeing as he's a Kaid with a C4 in his pocket. They're just asking to find Paktunkid. In the meanwhile, the Ella goes down. That shotgun will no longer be in play. And looks like there's an attempt at a push coming in on Kid Drum's window. Ashok is going to find one, but he's going to get refragged onto, and Kingslayer onto a Vim as well. And there goes Mike in a sudden turn of events once again. Valiant right towards the end of the round, knowing exactly what they needed to do. Oh, beautifully done from the side of Valiant, as we see in the Act Fibernet instant replay right there, making sure that ESM's late round defense is not allowed to flourish, shutting them down one by one body at a time. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are on 7-7, round 15, maximum match point. This is it. This is the last round, and one of these teams has to win here and now. And who will it be? Oh boy, I can barely contain my excitement. We're headed to second floor kids' dorms and dorms main hall for Valiant's, last defense.
I cannot believe this is how we are kicking off day 2 of Division 2. Such an amazing match. 7-7. I'm so hyped. Who's going to take this away? It's all going to come down to this one single round that we happen to witness right now. The side is going to be kids' dorms, and we're seeing TN and Valiance on the defense. Let me take a quick look at the history that they have for themselves. They happen to be on defense, and they did win on the 7th round on kids' dorms. That's the only time they happened to win. They played kids again twice on the 10th and 11th round, but it was ESM walking all over them. So just the way the stats happen to suggest, it possibly is most definitely a ESM victory round, but most definitely I'll beg to differ. TN and Valiance might bring out something else, as it is obviously very different from what it looks like in the books. I cannot make those predictions. That would just be outright wrong from what I have based off the past few rounds, but that is still a little substantial information just in the way this round might happen to go down into. Let's see if they'll be able to make that something useful or not. Once again, we do see the Valkyrie being employed from Salim Shady. He's just going to make sure that he gets a drone for the while. We did see him catch that drone up. Nothing else, at least not for the moment. A long angle being employed by the Valkyrie once again. While the smoke is here, I'm not sure doing what. There's 3 people watching the same angle, and maybe that's why Valiance has found themselves in a little bit of a tougher spot. The iron sides that the T5 SMG is being rocked from the Melusi as well. But interestingly so, we've got Awim watching that angle once again. He's just going to make sure that the flanks are covered, at least well and good for the moment. Getting to see the push-up from the side of the attackers. They're trying to get the Maverick trick down on the side of the attic as well. As there you go. He's just going to make sure that the Maverick Mike is just going to have to fall back while the soft breach happens. And once again, the Rappel is going to come in from Hamza. Is going to take the control onto the side of Armory. The push will be in on the side of the Fox doorway from Hamza once again. He's been this one person who always happens to make these pushes happen. But my eyes would be on Shulker, because the Ash last time around, somehow she happened to sneak up awfully close to the side. Just could not make enough damage, just could not bring out the damage that I was expecting her to do. And there you go, the Sima breaches are happening, and Melusi's going to find himself in a tough spot. Right now, she's just going to throw out a C4. It does not detonate a whole lot much. It does detonate, but no, not enough damage done. First kill comes in from Dibjal, and Mike is going to take the fall. That's ESM already finding themselves in a 4-3, but no, there goes the smoke as well. He knew that somebody on the window, and there's Awim to get that frag. A quick headshot, and Kostov takes the fall. A 4-4 are still getting C from the side of both these teams. As now things do start to get heated up, 1 minute left, and the bloodbath is here. Kingslayer gets a frag onto Awim. He's going to shut him down, but the refrag is right back in, and Paktun Kid takes down Hermie 1. The push-up from Shulker is trying to pick a fight against the Melusi, but meanwhile, Kingslayer is already losing a lot of HP. I'm not sure where that is coming in from. He's just going to go and reinforce this rotation. That is so ballsy to do right now at this moment. 40 seconds left. The push-up is in the act. Control is already there. First D4 goes out, and there's a down. Salim Shady gets one. Hamza is going to get Kingslayer. It's a 2 versus 2. There's nobody down. All alive. All guns in hand. And it's going to be a plan or a kill frenzy that we might get to see from them. Salim Shady goes wide about this. He's going to get punished. That's a WD attacker take on them. It's a 1 versus 2 that Dibjal has found himself in. The man is amazing. The man has been the highest fragger for Division 3 so far. Will he be that for Division 2 as well? Is this the shining moment? He won't be. It's Shulker's going to clean it up, and Esports, not only do they make the comeback, but they also take it away and take this victory in style. 8-7, and Esports I have newly developed respect for this team. And boy, oh boy, that was one hell of a match. To start off this day, I've never felt this high on adrenaline before. 8-7, and just amazing Amazing stuff coming in from both these teams. Oh my god, I cannot believe what we just got to witness. That blew my brains away. What a match. 8-7, maximum overtime, and more importantly, it was ESM's comeback. Ah.
It was indeed ESM's comeback, going from 2-5 to 6-6 and then winning finally on a maximum overtime. Valiants, they managed to do it twice, mind you. They managed to equalize and push for that last chance twice in a row, going from 5-6 to 6-6 and, of course, 6-7 to 7-7. But they just couldn't seal the deal when they really needed to. That is what we got to see twice, thrice, quite a few times actually, because Valiants were the first to 5 rounds. They would have been the first to match point, but unfortunately they fumbled right there, excuse me. And then once ESM made that push to match point, they managed to equalize. That was their chance. They had stolen the momentum, but they couldn't keep up. ESM won another round, went to match point again. Valiants pushed back again, managed to stop their momentum from going any far forward, but then ESM outplayed them on that defense. Once again, Valiants, unfortunately, trying to stick to that late round push denial that we got to see from them time and time again, that ESM had read into so well that it was really needed to be changed. It needed to be tweaked. And even with 2 defenders down below going for big flanks right towards the end that we saw from Valiants, it was not to be for them in this match. With that being said, we're going to have a quick look at the highlights of this match so far with Relive the Moment right here, ladies and gentlemen. A fantastic game that we had starting off between both teams, and like Foxy said, a huge way to start off day 2 of Division 2. These rounds, these matches have been amazing, and we wouldn't have had it any other way in the slightest. Excuse me right there. As we can see, you know, earlier in the defense, of course, ESM, they left a lot to be desired. Even though their second floor dorms was the defensive side that they won twice, ESM, unfortunately, were taken to town by Valiants on every other side, excuse me, in that first half. And it really, really looked like Valiants' game, even though there were some great plays, particularly looking at the Ella shotgun plays coming out from ESM. But then again, they were too far between. The first half was ESM, hands down, and Mike, unfortunately. SMG 11 in hand, he did some great kills in round 3, I believe. This is on Basement Laundry. Unfortunately, he was not able to secure the round. Just like Valiants, you know, ESM in the first half of this match played very similarly to Valiants in the second half, where their defensive strategies outside of specific situations were not working. And unlike Valiants, however, ESM tried to make changes. They were caught off guard even then. Just like here, we can see Jaeger trying to go for that big flank. He actually found 2, but unfortunately, he could not swing around in time, seeing as there were 3 attackers in small tower to take him down as quickly as possible. Coming over to the second half of this match, as you know, as I was saying, the first half was Valiants entirely. 4-2 on Oregon on the attack, very, very well to them. But ESM on the second half, I mean, I think Foxy is better suited to talk about that comeback that they made.
I mean, most definitely. So 4-2 into halftime, and then after halftime, we come back to round 7. It was 300 Valiants putting themselves on 5 rounds. So I was very convinced the fact that, hey, it's going to be Valiants just taking up match point. It might as well be that. But round 8, ESM won. Round 9, it was ESM's. 10, 11, unless of course, yeah, we did come back to 12th round where it happened to be T100 Valiants winning that, but that was just putting them on match point, and that was ESM into hyperdrive. That, all right, we've come this far and we are not going down without a fight. They made that comeback happen, more importantly, got that victory in, and just the way I look at the match history right now, it looks so bizarre. The fact that ESM happened to pop off in the second half of the match, looks like they were just using the first half to warm up. And once the side swap happened, all right, guys, let's just go into this, get this done. It's just a field day for us. Nothing out of the usual. You want to make sure that you get that victory in for yourselves, and ESM is definitely going to be very happy for that victory. But not only did they make that comeback from a huge difference where T100 Valiants happened to stand on, but they've also put themselves up in the leaderboard with 2 victories on board in week 1 already.
An absolutely insane match coming up from both teams. Just like Foxy said, the second half was absolutely bizarre, as it almost looked like ESM woke up in a sense, and it really came to the show as they pulled
I,
off.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there, Blackjack.
I just
Yeah.
had to.
Hey, Samurai, it's time to wake up. I get it. I completely get it. But yeah, that out of the way, taking a quick look at those highlights that you happen to be seeing right now, reliving these moments, and there's some of these moments I cannot just happen to forget the fact that the double kill coming in from Shulker, and then we also saw Mike coming in that C4 in the beginning. Look at that kill from. I'm not sure who that is, and I cannot read the name. That is Dipjol, in fact. So yeah. Stuff like that is what was the game for, and more importantly, it's just the fact that, hey, getting to see all of this amazing stuff from these players, as especially this push-up from the Valkyrie was not expected. Salim Shetty could have played this a little more, on the back foot, but hey, I'm nobody to judge. The man possibly knows a little more than what he happened to be experiencing with this team, and I wouldn't really be judging him on that. But hey, that was a sad loss for Valiance, honestly. It'll be ESM, very happy walking away with that. And that being said, over to you, Blackjack. What do you think the match fared, and what's next in store for us?
I mean, once again, just like we've specified time and time again so far, ESM versus Valiance is a fantastic way to start off tonight's matches, ladies and gentlemen. And we really could not have asked for a better game, but we won't be wasting any more time because there are still two more amazing games for all of our viewers at home. The next one is Love Bomb versus Dauntless Esports on the map of Clubhouse. And we will... Excuse me right there. And we will be right back with that game in just a quick moment. Stay tuned. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and in association with Fibernet and AFK Gaming. I do apologize for the laughing fit right there. That's a completely unrelated reason. But coming back to the point at hand, it is a match 2 on day 2 of Division 2. Lots of twos right there. It is Dauntless Esports versus Love Bomb on the map of Clubhouse, and we were talking about this map in the previous one as Oregon was taking over Clubhouse's spot in South Asia and in most regions actually, seeing as Oregon sees more play these days. But anyway, coming back to the point at hand, the match is about to begin on your screens right now, ladies and gentlemen. Dauntless Esports are attacking, Love Bomb are defending, and Clubhouse is the venue of the showdown. Foxy, how do you feel about this match that we've got on hand?
Hey, I'm very excited to see what happens. We've got a great history of both these teams, except for Love Bomb yesterday. They happened to lose 0-7. Sadly, that was not something I was expecting going into the match. But hey, Love Bomb has a good history when it comes to a map like Clubhouse. Clubhouse happens to be somewhere where they've performed well. Coming back to their history in the last league as well. Once again, for the people who don't know, catching up to this team, Love Bomb happens to be the roster of Team Self-Made, Team Nova Esports, and that little merger has given birth to this amazing team called Love Bomb. Looks like we might be going into the reverse after the bans, apparently, but no, that's not the point right now. The point is that these bans are something that should be done very carefully, very meticulously. In fact, we've got the Maverick being banned first and foremost, and the Thatcher will be taken off the board as well. And very standard stuff when it comes to Clubhouse. Honestly, I'm not surprised here. Maverick and Thatcher do happen to be two of those operators that do happen. Excuse me, there do happen to get banned when it comes to a map like Clubhouse. You got Kaid coming in as well. All right, that's taken off the board. Maybe I'm expecting an anti-information operator, information operator that will get banned, and that does become the anti when you happen to step into the game. So maybe a Maestro, maybe a Valkyrie. I'm not sure. It could be something that it could be a Mira as well. Honestly, it could be anything that never mind. There's none of that. Melusi looks like somebody really hates Melusi, and that somebody has given me a point of relating with that person. That out of the way, Melusi will be the ban indeed, and looks like we might as well be having to go into a Rio, sadly. Dauntless Esports is lacking one player. Meanwhile, let's take a quick look at the rosters. Widwi, Hussein, Skiffy, Sinkindoran, and the disconnected guy from Dauntless Esports, while we have, that was Boom, in fact. And on the other hand, we have XM1, Praveen Nemesis, Hunt, Lyric, and Easy Peasy on the side of Team Self-Made, Nova Esports, and right now we'll be calling them Love Bomb. That's right, people. Got ourselves up and running, looking at the operator roles also. It's looking great, in fact, just the way they happen to be playing this out. Round 1 will be underway, and the side is going to be CCTV and Cash Room. Blackjack, the mic is all yours.
Thank you for that beautiful transition into the round, Foxy. That isn't quite complete yet, seeing as Boom just got back into the match, so he's going to be a little while to load. Looks like somebody might want that sweet SSD, but he's going to have to work for it, of course, if he wants it. And hopefully we can see some great plays coming out from Dauntless Esports. I'm personally excited for DE because it's been a while since I've casted a match from them, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing their performance here in Division 2. We saw them a lot in the qualifiers of the previous league, but they were just never able to quite make the jump, that transition into divisions. And when they do in the Pro League, they go straight to Division 2. That's a big leap right there, big step for them, and they might just be a contender for best upcoming team in the league. Then again, we're going to reserve judgment until later on. Excuse me, I had to pause for a second. As CCTV is the site of choice, and we're gonna have a fairly interesting fairly standard set of rounds coming out early, because both teams are gonna be feeling each other out, making sure they know exactly what their opponents are doing. And just knowing what they need to do is what they need to give themselves these first rounds. I really stumbled right there, excuse me. But speaking of Dauntless Esports, actually, we did not get to see them on stream. They had a match against Red Vipers yesterday. That was, of course, handled off stream, ladies and gentlemen, and that was apparently a match Exactly, I was about to say that Dauntless unfortunately lost to Red Vipers, but as far as I have seen, that was a match that went all the way to maximum overtime, which was a big game. It's a little bit of a shame that we didn't get to cast that, but it is what it is when it comes to this beautiful Pro League. Speaking of which, we've already got the breach coming out from Avid. He's made sure to get those breaches done on the main wall of CCTV. Little lopsided right there. Believe he was probably impact tricked, but he still has one more Selma breach potentially to shut down the side of the defenders. A sinking donut is going to make his way down the logistics hatch. And nope, he's going to go down instead. That is unfortunate. The Ash trying to push through bedroom is going to find Lyric right there, who's going to take Boom down as well, as Hunt is going to go down to Hussein. In the meanwhile, Dauntless Esports have finally taken one body, but Lyric is here with a triple. He's finally going to be shut down by the attacker. That's Skeefy outside of the bedroom window, but at what cost? It's a 2 versus 3 right now, all down to the last attackers from the side of Dauntless. Hussein and Skeefy, the Zofia and the Hibana. Praveen Nemesis takes a lot of damage from Zofia outside of the CCTV main wall. But again, he's not dead, and that's what really matters playing the rafters right now. Utility burn is real as Skeefy's trying to push into side. Legion Mine taken care of, but the Legion himself is still in play. XM1 is also towards the side of the red stairs door. And he's a little dazed right now because, of course, Zofia. Hussein's going to do a bit of damage with that impact as well. XM1, he's got to be very careful on how he makes this push because Hussein is full on HP, as is Skeefy, of course, while 2 of the defenders are not. Hussein's going to push in. He's going to find 1. Will he find 2? Yes, he will. It's a triple kill in total for him. And now it's all down to the Wamai in a 1v2. All of a sudden, Skeefy's going for the plan, but it won't matter as Dauntless Esports will take round 1. Beautifully done right there from Hussein to shut down the side of the defense in the very first round, as we see in the Act 5-minute instant replay. That's one for the highlights, of course, ladies and gentlemen, as round 2 will be underway, and we're headed back to CCTV and Cash Room after that beautiful 4K from the Zofia.
Well. That's one way to start off a match, I believe. Hussein really well played from the Zofia. Dauntless Esports will be putting them 1-0 already, getting the first round on board. And it looks like we don't see the side change up from the side of the defense as well. Love Bomb does not want to go back to the basement or even try and attempt gym bedroom. They want to stick to CCTV and cash room until they happen to crack this code. Hopefully, it'll be this round that they'll be able to fall back or at least fight back onto. I got the Bandit being employed along with the Jaeger. The GAG and brothers come alive. We'll be seeing the smoke, most obviously for the denial and for the kind of dynamic he happens to offer to his team. Easy peasy, we'll be making sure all the projectiles are taken care of after the Jaeger, of course, because it's essentially the Jaeger's dialogues to not worry about the grenades. Speaking of grenades, Boom will be carrying them with the sleds that he's got for himself. I will be meanwhile. We do see him running the Ace though with the smokes, most obviously. A very helpful operator now, that is. Loving the way Ace is being employed, at least in this region. Just the way the maps happen to be approached as well. That out of the way, we'll be up and running. Excuse me, let me just take a quick sip of water here. As I want to make sure that I don't blank out in between when there's so much action going on. Just a second here, guys.
And as Foxy goes to drink water, it's an important lesson right here, ladies and gentlemen, to always be hydrated, especially when you're doing high stamina work like casting, hosting, or even adminning esports just in general. I mean, it's just good advice to be hydrated, as Boom is gonna do. Ooh, what a chef's nade right there, as that grenade definitely goes Boom, and XM1 is going to fall early for the side of the defense. Love Bomb losing an operator early, not great for them, as round 2 starts off with a bang. And yeah, very well done from the sledge to find that first kill, but now it's up to the Legion, who is being tracked by Sinking Donut and the drones from the attackers, as there's a push from behind on the bedroom window as well. Avid, we will take that kill happily. Praveen Nemesis drops, and so does Hunt. Boom gets that kill again, and that is now going to put the side of Dauntless very heavily in the advantage as now Heartbreach is going off onto Cash. And a push is coming in as Easy Peasy is going to find one. And there's another from Lyric. And Easy Peasy with another. Suddenly things are turning around, but it won't for long. Hussein and Skeefy will make sure that the rush scramble works out in favor of Dauntless Esports. And they take no losses or prisoners in round 2. As we see in the Act 5, but an instant replay right there. That was a very quick take from the side of DE. Pushing in through bedroom, through construction. Breach done. Kills taken. Plant doesn't even need to be executed as they are now 2-0 up on round 3 after that beautiful performance.
Well, that was a great performance indeed. I've got to give it to them just the way they happened to play that. Pacing, amazing pacing from the side of Dauntless Esports. They were able to make sure that even if the pacing was a little too quick for them, quick refracts coming in from the side of the defense, Dauntless Esports made sure that they caught those finishing kills towards the end as well. That being said, CCTV once again looks like has not worked out for the side of Love Bomb, and that's why they're going to go all the way downstairs to Church and Arsenal on the round 3. And well, let's see how this turns out for them. I don't see a huge change in or a huge shift. I do see a huge shift in terms of how the operators happen to be on the side of the defense, though. Not on the side of the offense, most obviously. We've got XM1, he's running the Legion. Praveen Nemesis is going to be on the Pulse. We've got Hunt Noah on the Vigil. Lyric is going to be on the Jaeger, and Easy Peasy on the Dock. So, a very different and a very bizarre set of operators that I'm getting to see from the side of the defense here, because this is not standard stuff. Honestly, these set of ops are not the ones we usually happen to find when it comes to Church defense. But if they do happen to get these frags on board, you know, just the way they happen to be approaching this with the Dock, with the Jaeger, with the Vigil, they might be able to win this round. That out of the way, a quick change up, and I cannot I just cannot help myself but notice the fact that Blackjack happened to make an NSFW joke and get away with it last time around, speaking about stamina stuff and whatnot. But anyways, that out of the way, we will be going ahead with this matchup, and well, let's see what happens. I see you smiling, Blackjack. Yeah. We got WD is just going to get back on his drones and just make sure he has enough information, while XM1 is going to be the one who happens to meet him in the tunnels head first. The push-up will be in from Zofia. Hussein, looks like Boom is about to... Looks like he's Michael Jacksoning his way up inside freezers. And that's... I just butchered the language. I'm so sorry for that. I just had to say that he is a smooth criminal indeed. But right now, the point being the fact that the Zofia is pushing up. He's got his scopes and is looking for heads. In fact, a long angle being employed, a very tight one as well. He's got to make sure he holds on to it. Any mistake he'll make sure that he pops ahead. But meanwhile, it's going to be sinking down and gets the first frag in. XM1 takes the fall. Another one goes down as well. Boom is going to find Praveen Nemesis. The push-up from the Zofia is still being expected, but is it even useful at this point? The damage has already been done. It's all on a Hunt, Lyric, and Easy Peasy. Easy Peasy is the one who will be taking the immediate fight with the Zofia right now, but it's a weird way is going to get that frag. Lyrics takes the fall. It's all on Hunt and Easy Peasy. Easy Peasy goes down. Skip Peasy had to get that frag. It's a 1 versus 4 for the man. The Wizard is going to go wide. He's going to get the frag. Hunt on this double kill for himself and the ace clutch that he's looking to make. All eyes on the Wizard right now. The plan has gone down. It's a post-pass situation. He's got to find 3 attackers. Everybody's going to be so much highly on HP. Nobody's tagged up, at least not for so much. Not a whole lot. Hunt himself is going to be on full HP, but it won't matter because WD is here with the pistol out of all things. Is going to end the reign of what Love Bomb was trying to make. Another round once again goes in the favor of Dauntless Esports, as we'll be going quickly into Act 5 with its instant replay and taking a look at what just happened. Frenzy of kills, all in the favor of Dauntless Esports, as they'll be cementing their victory and advantage in this map. 3-0 is going to be the scoreline, and round 4 is underway.
Very much unlike most of the other maps that we've had so far in the WD Black Esports Club Pro League, ladies and gentlemen. Unlike most matches and maps, today it seems like Love Bomb are not going to be able to convert by changing sites. At least that's what it looks to me for the time being. They failed CCTV twice. Understandable, sometimes you have a rough start. But then going to Basement Church, they made some very unfortunate mistakes. For one, Pulse sitting by the bomb just behind that shelf, very exposed to the kitchen hatch, and I'm not sure what he was expecting to get out of that. Maybe there was a push from Dirt that had him pinned there, which forced him, to just not be able to move. That could have been very much a thing. But at the end of the day, whatever was the reason, Love Bomb have been making a ton of mistakes, and Dauntless Esports, as is expected, have not been letting them get away with it at all. We've got the Wamai in play from Easy Peasy this time around again, and there's going to be another, I believe, some more emphasis towards the side of Rafters of Garage, Catwalk that is. And you can see the ADS. There's going to be more Womai Magnets in that position any second now. Easy Peasy, however, has set up a shield inside of Cash, watching the construction entry door. That's interesting right there because, usually you get to see that shield by the big table, right? By that big green table. But he's put it behind the stack of notes, that is. And that is where he seems intent to sit, or at least have a defender sit there, while he himself is on a roam on first floor. Not sure how useful that's going to be. Boom has taken some damage early, however. Not sure where that one came out of, as the bandit batteries will be spotted, and a request will go out to take care of them. That's probably going to be Hussein or Sinking Donut making that work, as Easy Peasy is actually going to find Hussein. Speak of the devil, he goes down, and that's unfortunate for the side of the attack. Dauntless Esports have lost an operative early. And that's a big one as well. Living Sinking Donut, the only one who can go and get those bandit batteries. But Boom is going to be the one to do this. He's doing the Chef's Grenade again. He's going to throw it. Oh, he missed it just barely. And that's going to give the bandit a cue to get out of there. And he will just in time. But the bandit batteries will probably still go down. There we go. They've been taken care of. The Summer Breach is coming in, but XM1's going to find Boom in the meanwhile. That's going to drop the sledge, but not going to stop the Hard Breach going in for the side of the attack. Shots are being fired right now. Hunt actually did completely miss the dock being picked somehow. He is the one sitting on Catwalk of Garage, taking a bit of damage, but he can just heal himself back up to full HP, of course. And he has already used up a Stim Pistol. Flashbangs coming his way, and shots coming his way as well, as it's a full-on Garage push coming out from the side of Dauntless Esports. Hunt's trying to make his way back, pull back, maybe get a body or two on the way, as he needs to make his way back to site. He knows somebody's on the door, but no, there's somebody else on the wall. Breach right there. Sinking Donut is going to take that kill and going to start things off for the side of Dauntless, as Vidvi is going to come back up to the main breach of CCTV. XM1 with the C4 gives away his position. Vidvi needs to make that second breach, and he will do just that. He has to watch for red on entry, though. Easy peasy. The prone peak doesn't work out for him. He will go down. It's a double kill and a triple kill for Sinking Donut, who is making things work. Make that a quad. Man's on the ace right now. He just needs to find the last one on red. He knows exactly where he is. He could go for this peak. Flashbangs are coming out from Skeefy. Looks like the plant needs to go off. Sinking Donut has been flashed, interestingly enough. Skeefy's going for the plant, and cover is in from Sinking Donut. Does he know where the Legion is approaching from? I don't think he does. Legion's coming in. He's going wide, but Sinking Donut will swing as well. The ace comes out for the Ash, as we will see that in the Act 5-minute instant replay, ladies and gentlemen. What a round for the Ash. Sinking Donut single-handedly pulling the round out from a 3v5 to a 2v0, all on that one man playing the Ash for Dauntless Esports. Round 4 goes to them, and this early game transitioning to the mid game has been very strong so far for Dauntless Esports.
Boy, oh boy, a 3 versus 5, turning that into a 0 versus 3. What a play from Sinking Donut, getting that ace, dropping every single body that is. I think he happened to pick up that pace when he got that kill onto the Wamai, trying to go for that pro peak on from side. First kill onto the dock was really well done. There's 200 IQ stuff coming in from him, distracting the dock so much that it was just Sinking Donut who was able to pick up that frag. Really well done. That being said, we'll finally be able to see a change in site. That's not going to be CCTV, it's not going to be church, it's going to be gym and bedroom. This is, in fact, at least on paper, the most defendable site when it comes to this map. I know you might happen to differ from that. All right, Church Arsenal has sometimes, a little close in terms of how statistics do go by, but hey, with numbers, I'm telling you, trust me, it's gym and bedroom that happens to have such an amazing win rate. Yeah, let's see if they'll be able to convert that into something useful or not from Love Bomb, because I'm expecting them to do this. Mind you, Love Bomb happened to lose yesterday's match 7-0 as well. I don't want them to walk away with another loss like that. They'll have to step up. They'll have to try and bring and put these rounds on board for themselves. Let's see if they'll be able to do that or not going ahead into this match. Skiffy is brought the Hibana once again. Will be making these breaches happen on the solo wall. We've got the long angle being employed by Hussein as well, while Sinking Donut with the Ash is going to make sure he goes onto the tanker. Well, standard stuff being done from him. The castle barricades will be opened with the help of the Ash charges, but right now it's going to be the emphasis on the fact that we are seeing a finger in play from Boom. Looks like he just wants the LMG and the comfort of using the nades for himself. And yeah, that is exactly what we get to see from them. The flashes go out and then the nade, trying to dislodge whoever's playing inside bathroom. Right now, it's just going to be XM1 who takes a little bit of damage. And as I speak about it, a lot of damage. The nade could do the job right now into getting the kill, but no, he is still going for the bandit trick, and he gets that anyway. Anyway, he gets dropped eventually. The XM1 takes the fall, and Lyric is down on the floor as well. The push-up is in already from Sinking Donut. The Pink boost is what is helping them, and bodies are dropping like flies. In the end, it's all on the hunt. Praveen Nemesis, the Legion and the Vigil. Where are they? They are dying right now. At least one of them, Praveen Nemesis, takes the fall. Hunt Meanwhile is going to get Hussein. That's a refrag right back in. He's very low HP, only 10 HP on the man. Oh, one versus that he's got to fight against. He's going to go for the quick rotate on logistics. Ibarra spots him, and that's it. Skippy's going to make sure he dusts him out. And round 5 goes once again to Dauntless Esports as they're having an amazing match for themselves right now on Clubhouse. 5-0 is going to be the scoreline, and we'll be looking at that round once again. A quick look at that in the Act Fibernet's instant replay. What a round coming in from Dauntless Esports, as they'll be making sure that Love Bomb does not win on any viable side so far on Clubhouse. 5-0, a very dominating performance. Round 6 will be underway, and we are one round away from halftime.
Love Bomb is looking very much worse for wear right now. 5-0 against them by Dauntless Esports. Like I said, and like both me, Foxy, and of course Babagusta, we were all mentioning this when we saw Dauntless back in the previous league's qualifiers. They have the potential to not only get into the division stages, but get in and rock a lot of teams. And that is what they're doing right now, seeing as they are completely dominating Love Bomb, who in Division 2, you know, as we say, the Bloodbath Division, there has to be someone who cannot stand up to the challenge, and I do not mean to speak any ill of Love Bomb, ladies and gentlemen. They are a team that looks really good, really strong, but they, well, today so far, they've really, if I have to be blunt, they really have been just a punching bag today for the side of Dauntless Esports. But who knows? Maybe they might be able to pull an ESM. A big comeback might come out from them any second now, maybe on the other side of Rollstop, but they need to give themselves one round. Excuse me right there. One round. They need to win on defense if going into attack is where they want to shine. Nice little, excuse me right there. Looks like Avidvi tried to, you know, just tried to talk to his own team, but forgot he was typing in all chat. We all have those days, of course. We make those mistakes every now and again. But coming back to the point at hand, all Dauntless Esports, that is, firing on all cylinders right now. And just Love Bomb needs to pick up from here. They need to try and pick themselves back up. They need a round or 2 or 3 just to give themselves a little bit of, just a little bit of comfortability. They've got a couple of Romas right here, of course. Hunt the Vigil, but Lyrical, he's about to swing wide. Will he find one? The Kevin's got the Boss G. Hello? Boom is going to go down. Unfortunately, the Boss G will not find a kill today. Very unfortunate. But the guy's going to swing wide again. Take a lot of damage, Lyric, right there. But do some damage to Avidwi as well. As bullets are being traded, HP is being traded, but nothing big coming out of that. As Hussein has finally made his way out of spawn. Sinking Donut, however, is going to take a lot of damage as well. That's an SAS shotgun from the sounds of things. Could be XM1. No, looks like it's easy peasy because there's smoke grenades and a kill. Sinking Donut goes down. And finally, Love Bomb are looking much, much better. They've taken a couple of kills, but they've been in this position before where they pushed Dauntless Esports back. and they need to keep pushing them back farther and farther. Right in a vid, we will go down. He did not know there was a visual on main stairs, but Skiffy's finally going to shut down the smoke and make sure that Easy Peasy falls. But there is Hunt again, hunting these attackers one by one, and Hussein, the last man to get out of spawn, is the last man alive right now for the side of Dauntless Esports. This round, Love Bomb have done amazing this round so far, and Hussein is the last one standing. He's gonna find one. Will he find two? Not yet. No damage done to him. Minimal damage, that is. But a beautiful impact grenade coming out from Hunt is gonna shut down Hussein, as we'll see that in the act. Fibernet instant replay, using that to open a new line of sight, knowing that there's only so many places that the Zofia can go. He opens up the bathroom wall and shuts down the Polish operator, as finally Love Bomb have won a round, and that is round 6 that is. And now we're in roll swap round 7, ladies and gentlemen, 5-1 for the side of DE, and they are headed to Basement Church and Arsenal Room on their first defensive round.
Hey, honestly, I'm very glad that Love Bomb finally getting that round in for themselves. Happening to be on defense, they needed that so direly. Now it's going to be an uphill task for them to make that comeback because they happen to be on the attack. And we know just the way this map happens to favor the side of defense. So let's see going ahead what we'll be getting to see from them. XM1 is going to switch pick, 6th pick, and switch onto the Hibana from the Finca. See what I did there? I didn't do anything. I just happened to fumble up on my words. Yeah, again, I did that. Anyways, that out of the way, we'll be seeing ourselves head into this. Boom has brought out the mute. We've got Sinkin Donan on the vigil as well. Skiffy is running the Legion. I'm really liking the emphasis in terms of how Legion happens to get used. Sometimes it's not just the utility that he happens to offer, the mines and the impacts, but also the gun, the T5 SMG, definitely something that you want for yourselves. And Hussein has brought up the Mozzie. A good pick that I haven't seen in a while. The Mozzie most definitely is going to be something that... it's going to be something that I'll be looking out for. Hussein has been amazing so far. As if I would request the host to quickly show us the scoreboard. I want to have a look at that. Is just the way it happens to be. It's just the fact that, hey, these guys have been fragging their brains out, and I want to take a look at what these numbers look like. So that out of the way, we'll be seeing ourselves head into this match, and look at that, the scoreboard, as it does happen to have its ups and downs, but right now it's going to be the push from the Ash happening on the side. A 5 versus 5, nothing out of the blue, nothing unusual that we're getting to see. And yeah, most definitely we'll be getting to see so much more stuff from the side of Love Bomb. At least that's what I'm expecting them to do on this attacking round. Sinking Donut being very... Actually, he's taken so much more liberty to go about this roam. He does not know there's somebody on the side of bathrooms, or did he either? Maybe the position might have been given away, but right now it's going to be him making the push happen. The Ash trying to go for the all-put pushes, while we've got the Ace and the Hibana who's gotten the breaches done already. That is going to be Lyric and XM1. So it's a little bit somewhere in the lines of the strategy being employed of SSG, and Boom is going to find the first frag. Easy peasy takes the fall. The push from Hunt Nova is here, but it's going to be Sinking Donut getting one. Boom gets another. Hunt Nova, meanwhile, is going to find a weird way though, but that's already put the side of Love Bomb in a very bad position. It's all on to Hunt and Lyric. He's trying to find his frags here, but Lyrics is going to take the fall as well. I don't know why I call him Lyrics. It's just not the plural. But here's Hunt. He does not notice the drop down, and that's the shotgun to the face. And what did we just get to see? A roaming mute with a triple kill. Boom had a blast in this round. Now you see what I did there? Anyways. The Act 5 instant replay will be taking a quick look at that of the last round of what just happened to transpire on round 7. A very good round is going to put Dauntless Esports on match point 6-1.
6-1 to DE. That is huge right there from them, even on the defense. Of course, when it comes to Clubhouse, you expect defensive sides to win more often. That is what the side of DE are showing off right now, of course. But they were able to go 5-1 up on the attack on Clubhouse as well. That is huge for them. And now having one Basement Church with, just like we saw, Boom, the roaming mute with the shotgun SMG, triple kill to him. He's actually going to stay on the mute, interestingly enough. He took that 6-pick ticket, but then couldn't switch out in time, or I don't even know what happened right there. As the second floor CCTV is going to be the site of choice between for the side of the defense right now. Interestingly enough, a Valkyrie is going to be in play from Skeefy this time, bringing in that interlude. A little bit of a moonwalk from Skeefy this time around, as he's going to be moonwalking his way around Garage to put down those Valkyrie Black Eye cameras. As we are prepared to go to action phase on this round, ladies and gentlemen, it is potentially the last round of this match, which is a very bizarre thing to say, as the last match that we had between Valiant and ESM looked like it would be, say, a 7-3, 7-4 in Valiant's favor, but then a comeback happened. Today, Love Bomb sits on a similar position, but even more precarious, as, Sinking Donut trying to go for a bit of a run out right now. Does not find anybody, however, as Easy Peasy will go down to Hussein with the Vector on Goyo. Starting things off very, very strong, as it looks like that was outside of the garage door. Not sure exactly where Easy Peasy was. He's the Kali, mind you. So being outscoped by a Goyo. Not exactly the best look, as Sinking Donut's going to take a bit of damage from that pre-fire coming out from Praveen Nemesis, who is trying his best to find a kill or two. Sinky Donut is doing the same as well, as shots are fired, and Praveen Nemesis will finally shut down the Jaeger, who is getting a bit too full of himself, but he is going to take so much damage from the defender on the garage stairs. And Hunt's going to take a Vidvi down. In the meanwhile, that smoke off the board, big drop right there from the side of Dauntless, as they have suddenly lost 2 and are looking definitely a lot worse for wear. Hussein is somehow allowed to rotate back up the stairs. Haskifi will shut down Hunt Nova. Nice and quickly, more damage done to the Zofia outside of garage door. Hussein, now prone on the table, is trying to find these defenders. Attackers, excuse me, as quickly as he can. There goes another one. Zofia will finally drop. Skeefy with a double, and now he's looking for that triple. Will he see and find the Hibana? I don't know. Hussein's trying to go for this. And no, actually, he was too busy taking down the Claymore, I believe, and that's why XM1 is going to shut him down nice and quickly. All 4 remaining players are on full HP, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, as XM1 and Lyric are against Skeefy and Boom, the last 2 standing for each team. Lyric's trying to push in through CCD window right now. Second drone comes out from him as he's trying to find out exactly what's going on. But Skeefy's going to shut down XM1, leaving Lyric the last man standing. The ace outside of CC window. He's going to see the mute take 1, but now it's between him and Valkyrie. Skeefy and Lyric, the last 2 standing. Skeefy's going to rotate down below. I think he still has a C4, and Lyric's going to try and go for the plant, but there's intel being given, and the C4 will pop, and the round will be won from the side of Dauntless Esports. We're going to have a look at that in the Act 500 instant replay, ladies and gentlemen. A big round coming out right at the end from the side of Dauntless. Unfortunately, Lyric, if he wanted to be saved from that C4 at the end, should have probably gone onto the table. But, you know, you make those mistakes every now and again, and they will definitely need to improve a lot before week 2 commences for them next week, of course. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the second game has ended very quickly right now, and Dauntless Esports has won over Love Bomb 7-1 on the map of Clubhouse, the very polar opposite of the previous match that we had, which was between Valiant and ESM, of course. But regardless, excuse me, regardless, a bit quick game from Dauntless, definitely a very quick game. I was not expecting that, but I did say I was excited to see Dauntless again after a while, and that excitement and the wait paid off because they have done a wonderful, wonderful job today. Wouldn't you agree, Foxy?
I'll have to agree with you on that, Blackjack, because not only did Dauntless perform well, they also had their stuff sorted. They knew exactly what they were doing. I like to see that kind of composure when it comes to teams like this, but I'm a little sad for Love Bomb, dude, honestly. 0-7 and then a 1-7 loss back to back. Love Bomb, if you're watching this team, no disrespect to anything that we happen to say, just go back, solve your mistakes, and come back stronger in week 2, because that is what we'll be expecting from you and what me and Blackjack would hope to see from Love Bomb, because this is such an amazing and such a promising roster. We'd like to see more of that from you guys. We'll be going quickly into reliving the moment on how the match happened to go down. That is, of course, the match that just happened to go down on the Clubhouse. We'll be quickly going into that in just a moment. And there you go. Just take a look at that. The first round where we happened to see the 4K coming in from the Zofia as well. So quite the push-up that we did get to see from them. It's just the way Dauntless Esports happens to, go around the way this push. Not only that, the fact that Dauntless Esports able to pace out so many things, they know exactly what they're doing. Everything is calculated, and more importantly, everybody on their team happens to be amazing gunners. So that being said, let's see what we'll be witnessing going ahead into this matchup from these players. And look at that, the chef's made from the sledge from Boom. We did get to see some amazing stuff from the man, and I haven't really seen Boom play before. It's a new name that I happened to come across, but I'm so glad that we did get to see him play. It's good having to see these amazing talents bring out the best of this amazing game. That being said, we do get to see so many other mistakes that Love Bomb happened to make. It's just not the fact that Dauntless Esports played better than them. There were so many fundamental mistakes in just the way R6 Esports is treated. I didn't get to see a whole lot of discipline in terms of how Love Bomb happens to approach a single map, or at least a single site. Picking out operators that don't really serve purpose except for the gun that they hold, it's just not the way you happen to play esports, or at least not Rainbow Six Siege esports. We know for a fact that, and so many people have said this all over again, the fact that this game happens to be primarily a utility burning experience and then a FPS. But hey, you've got to make sure that everything is strategized. You've got to make sure that there's multiple angles and aspects that you've got to look after for. And as we take a look at the ace moment that Sinking Donut happened to bring on with the Ash, look at that, getting that final frag with a quick turnaround as well. A very well-deserved ace for the man. A really good push in onto side, and he just happened to frag his brains out. That being said, over to you, Blackjack, in terms of how this match happened to go down. I really want to listen to what you have to say about this, because this match was a little, one-sided. A lot one-sided, honestly, but I'm just trying to be as generous as I can towards Love Bomb.
Absolutely, Foxy. I don't blame you for that in the slightest, as the Love Bomb had a very, very, very unfortunate performance today. And like I said, like you said, we're trying to be as generous as we can, but there's only so much we can say in Love Bomb's favor. They tried their hardest, and that one round that they did take, kudos to them. They pushed back Dauntless very, very hard on second row CCTV, even though most of the action happened towards Gym Bedroom. Even then, Dauntless were not shaken, and something that Dauntless showed off, something that Love Bomb were not able to adapt to, is that once Dauntless gets going, once they start their execute, they are very hard to beat. You want to stop them when they're setting up, and again, Love Bomb tried that. They were able to get a couple of kills early in some rounds. They were able to push Dauntless back. But again, as soon as Dauntless started making that execute, as soon as they started getting into sight, making those wide peaks, getting those kills, they were not to be stopped. Just look at Sinking Donut's, excuse me right there. Just look at Sinking Donut's ace. The man absolutely tore through the side of the defense of Love Bomb. And kudos to him and his team. Dauntless Esports made a big showing today, and they'll be looking to make even more big showings going forward when it comes to the Pro League tournament, ladies and gentlemen, as we'll be saying a good night to those two teams for this week, and we're going to be moving forward into the last match of the night, last match on stream, that is, and that is Red Vipers versus Allegiance, two teams that I am looking forward to quite a bit, especially after Allegiance's performance yesterday, and we will see you with that in just a quick moment. Stay tuned. Alrighty then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege, supported by Ubisoft and in association with ACD Fibernet and AFK Gaming. I was about to say AFK Internet. Yeah, you know, that's what a long wait time does too, ladies and gentlemen.
That's how my internet is, honestly.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, coming back to the point at hand, ladies and gentlemen, we do apologize for the delay in bringing this final match to your screens, as we had some problems with getting the players into the lobby, but they are all in, and we will be going live with the game of Red Vipers versus Allegiance on your screens live right now on the map of Cafe Dostoevsky. 3 matches, 3 maps, all the action right here, right now. Ban phase has begun, and we're about to see exactly what kind of operators these teams are looking at to take off for the ban phase. And starting off will be Red Vipers, seeing as they are the ones on defense right now. And the first attacker to be banned from them is going to be the Thatcher. Once again, no surprises with the Thatcher ban. I mean, at this point, really. Nobody really needs an introduction as to why Thatcher is banned, even after his mega nerf of not being able to destroy gadgets. Disabling them for 10 seconds is still a fairly long time. Nobody wants to deal with that. Thatcher is banned, and so is Maverick, interestingly enough. Not the Nomad, Maverick, banned on Cafe. I'm very interested to know the decision-making for Allegiance right there, as they will ban Wamai on the defense as well. More standard ban, the Wamai that is, especially when it comes to Cafe Dostoevsky, as 2 sites, that is kitchen, first floor, and third floor bar, have very, very large rooms that Wamai can hold down single-handedly with the help of Jaeger, maybe a Melusi hero there. But regardless, Wamai is the key to making those holds work, so he's going to be banned alongside the Mira, who is going to be taken off the board here on the last ban, coming out from the side of Allegiance. With all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, your ban phase has been taken care of, and it is Thatcher, Maverick, Wamai, Mira to be banned on Cafe Dostoevsky today. Valkyrie is still in play. Nomad is still in play, as we see right there being picked already. Maestro is still in play, mind you. Speaking of which, let's have a quick look at all of the rosters, all of the team members that are here today for all of us to enjoy. From the side of Allegiance, we've got Buckshot, Arrow, Malakron, Buttress, and Big Base. And from the side of Red Vipers, we've got Asterix, Kurosaki, Roxanne, Sean, and Anaconda. I'm pretty sure everybody remembers those names. And we all do too, as third floor bar is going to be the side of choice, and round 1 is underway.
That's right, people. Round 1 will be underway, and a great introduction to these teams going ahead into this match. Thank you for that, Blackjack. As I personally am very excited to see what we've got in store for us this time around. We've got Red Vipers, that is Extinction Esports. I've got so many hopes from them. They happen to be doing their back and forth between Division 2 and 3 in the last league. This time around looks like they turned out to be a little stronger than usual. But maybe we might get to see them stumble a little bit here, because Allegiance is not a team you want to be counting out of. Let's take a quick look at the operator roles that we're getting to see here. Goya once again being employed on Cafe. No surprise here, honestly. We've got Roxanne on the Maestro as well. Sean is at the mute, while Kurosaki will be on the Valkyrie. That's information trade-off, very necessary for what Red Vipers need right now. And Anaconda will be on the Jaeger. Good operator lineup coming in from both these teams, especially from the side of the defense. On the side of the attack, I'm loving the fact that they're emphasizing so much on soft reach. We've got Buckshot on the sledge. We've got Malakron on the Zofia. And very interestingly so, Buttress is going to be running the Thermite, not the Ace. We haven't seen that in quite a bit, honestly. And since this... actually, now that I think about it, this might be the first Thermite pick since the beginning of the season.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah, I really think this is, in fact, the first time I think, oh boy, that Goya shield got blown to bits, and so did Kurosaki's HP is so much more. I think 20 HP remain on that man, as we'll be seeing a white peak coming in. That is a very interesting peak from Buckshot. He's got himself a really, really tight angle, but that also means that you'll have to, make sure that you try and pop that head, but right now it's not going to be that case. Malakron is going to be the man who's trying to make this push. It'll be running the Hall on the rope here, quite interestingly so. We don't get to see that a lot now with the new sides coming in. But it's going to be Anaconda who's playing aggressively now, right below the skylights, as I like to call it, the Shaiko spot. While on the hot and cold spot, we have the Kaid. No, that is not the Kaid. There's somebody else, but right now it's going to be the fact that Anaconda has already lost his life. It's like that spot did not exactly pay off the way it wanted to. But he's still trying to find a head, and most definitely he's just going to be finding a drone for now. The Valkyries move back on the shield and just gonna use its comfortability and make sure try and bank upon it. Got the C4 as well, and as the speak about it, C4 comes out, and Asterix is going to blow up a shot. The Smithereens and Kurosaki takes the fall as well. Meanwhile, a possible revive could come into play because there's the Maestro. There you go, Roxanne's going to put him back on 20 HP, but he still decides to go back on that. Barely making it out alive in that little rotate that he got for himself. Kurosaki, what were you thinking, my man? But hey, I don't really blame him. The Maestro camp trying to do so much work, trying to tag up the Zofia and whatnot. While we've got the push coming in from the attackers in a full hyperdrive momentum. The push-up will be in. It's a 4 versus 4. Established and Solo and HP are going to be the defenders. Kurosaki is going to find Milakron. Arrow is going to get found as well. So here's the refire right back in place. But here's the spray and pray from Roxanne is going to shut down Buttress. And there's the final kill from Asterix as well. And what a round coming in from Red Vipers for round 1 to start things off and give this match an amazing beginning. As Team Allegiance will have to reconsider what they just happened to do on attack.
Absolutely right there. Legions, they started off somewhat strong, but unfortunately were not able to win the round. That late round conversion coming out from the side of Red Vipers was absolutely amazing. And that is why Red Vipers won round 1 on a 3rd floor bar. And first floor kitchen service and kitchen cooking is going to be the site of choice going into round 2. We've got the Melusi already in play from Sean this time around. And Castle will be brought out by Anaconda. So most likely there's still going to be an emphasis towards the side of a Big Bakery. Maybe the extended roam hold on first floor cafe that we get to see so much of is going to be in play as well. However, we'll find that out in just a quick moment as setup looks like it's going to happen that way. From the looks of, these rotates and where the impact's going off and whatnot, there you go. Cold room will have a breach. That's a rotate in and out of the white corridor, probably being watched by one of the defenders. I'm not exactly sure who. Usually you see a smoke sitting there, but there is no smoke in play today. So whoever's going to be sitting behind that shield, good luck to them, as they unfortunately will not have the same area denial potential as the smoke himself. Castle barricades are going to go off. There we go. Small bakery will be protected, or big bakery will be protected. It really depends on your perspective, where the push is coming from and where the plays are happening from the side of Allegiance right here, who need to tighten up after that first round. Of course, it was only 1 round, and things can change very easily between 1 and 2. Of course, we've seen that time and time again, but maybe Red Vipers are going to pull off a dominating performance. Maybe Allegiance have only lost 1 round, and that is the only round that they will lose in this match. Who knows? It could be maximum overtime once again, which would make 3 very different matches back to back, and will make a very interesting night for us for sure. As action phase is rolling on slowly but surely, and the roam clears coming out from the side of Allegiance's attack. We've got Arrow, G8A1 in hand, but Buckshot's going to be the first one to get a kill. Roxanne drops early, and that is the Bandit gone. Not sure exactly where that came out of. Could have been on White Corridor, as Buckshot was seen rappelling up to the side of Cafe, east side that is, after. Yep, there we go. We can see the kill right there. Bandit, unfortunately, tried to make a rotate, I guess. Not sure what exactly happened, but he's gone. Roxanne will not be influencing this round. Restless drops are coming in nice and quickly as they're expecting somebody to be on the Harry Potter spot right now. That air jab is a little questionable, shall we say, seeing as, of course, the Claymore's already there. But in case the Claymore gets shot out, I do understand that you want to have some extra level of security. But even then, it could be called into potential question. Arrow with the RD scanner, still trying to find those bits of defender utilities here and there. Sees one already, actually, but that's probably a proxy sensor close to the castle to give him an alert. That's Anaconda when the attackers are pushing down red. He's actually going to make a bit of a move on red corridor right now, and he could be found out of that if Arrow pushes in. There we go. He's going to see the drone be thrown in, going to take it out, falls back into Harry Potter's spot. He's going to be seen, but he's not going to be taken out. That's big right there. Excuse me, right there. And, actually, Sean's going to be taken off the board. That is the Melusi down. That's unfortunate. And Anaconda's taking so much damage from that J8A1, but he's somehow alive. Arrows out of bullets. He's trying to reload right now, and he will. He's also quite low on HP. As the Butcher's taking some damage, he's trying to push up the IQ as Big Base is going to take down Kurosaki. There goes another one, and another one drops. And Anaconda, Asterix, and Kurosaki are going to drop back to back, as we'll get to see that in the act. Fibernet instant replay right here, ladies and gentlemen, as Allegiance are going to take round 2 off the back of a very, very good push. And that's going to make the early game equalize between both teams 1-1 going into round 3.
Well, from the looks of it, looks like we are in for a treat. We've got ourselves a nice match. 1-1 equalizer is already in, and we'll be seeing once again how we go back to kitchen service and kitchen cooking. It's going to be interesting the way this is going to play out. Sean has brought out the Melusi once again. We've got the castle being employed by Anaconda as well. Jaeger is going to be on Kurosaki is going to be on Jaeger, and Asterix has brought out the Goyo. Good stuff once again. Huge ups to the way we did get to see the attackers bring out a flawless round in the last one at least, and that was good to watch. Honestly, it was good frenzy of kills, and more importantly, it was done well in time. Great momentum. Good pacing from the side of the attackers. Let's see what more Allegiance has to offer. Standard stuff being done here from the side of the defense while we have Raxan running the bandit. That means the bandit tricking is definitely something that I'll be seeing them employ a little bit more manpower on, or maybe just the timeline. I'm not even sure. It's just the fact that Allegiance happened to frag out every single person of Red Vipers. Maybe they got a little too overconfident. Maybe it was just not something that they were expecting. But right now, it's going to be them on the side of the attack, and they've got to make sure they make this push happen. What I'm really concerned is, or actually, what I'm really interested about is the fact that will we see them make this push happen from the side of the garage, or will that be over on this on the other side? That is the bakery. From the looks of it, it's going to be bakery. We've got Kurosaki on the Jaeger. It's going to be holding this down. I believe that is they want to go for a roam clear at his team Allegiance, while a nice angle being spotted out already from the outside. But actually a good one. Could be something useful out of it if a defender most possibly happens to. They just happen to, try and get some ideas. That's right. Going ahead, let's see what we've got for ourselves now. Big Base is just going to make sure that he's was rapidly there. Just trying to find whatever he can, getting the cams and whatnot. Top flow control will be established by them, and that is great. That is good. We're getting to see Allegiance stepping up and making sure that their time is invested well and good into the room clear, because when they happen to make the push out the side, it's going to be them just winning those gunfights. And we did see exactly that in the last time around as well. Winning those gunfights from the side of Allegiance is just amazing. Team Allegiance likes to take gunfights and they like to win them as well. But that is the case for Red Vipers as well. Let's see what we've got for ourselves. Going ahead now, Big Base has brought up the Nomad. He's just going to make sure all of these air jabs are well placed in places you want them to be in. Meanwhile, another Nomad shot, that is the air jab, goes out. Still got the castle, who's actually playing aggressive, but there's nobody on that window to find. I don't think there is. The bandit batteries will not be proving out to be so much useful. It's just getting those taken out. We've got so much soft breach potential from the side of the attackers. They are reconstructing the entirety of the map now, at least for the floorboard. Let's see what we've got for ourselves going ahead in this match. A C4 comes out, does not claim anything. Follows by still established 1 minute left. And that means as we go ahead into this round, it's going to come down to the bloodbath towards the end few moments, to the end few seconds. The push is in from Arrow. He does not know that somebody in Harry Potter and Kurosaki is going to get that frag. The IQ takes the fall. The force is 5. We got ourselves, and Red Vipers is in the lead. Bush is being broken as we speak about it, as the Zofia, that is Milagron, is trying to make this push happen on the side. But he doesn't know he's actually accompanied with the Thermite as well. A flashbang goes out. for a possible flank that he's trying to cover. But no, there's a thermite pusher in. Buttress is going to take down Sean, and here's Buckshot taking down Kurosaki as well. Quickly, two bodies get dropped, make that three, and Milakron is going to get one, and Buttress, he gets asterisks as well. It's all under Anaconda, no 1 versus 4. The man has got to find the planter. There's not enough time left, 16 seconds only. His position is being given away. The push-up is in, but there's double duty on him, and he wants to ride that. Allegiance is going to take round 3 as they come alive, and we'll be taking a look at that in the Act 5 in an instant replay. Look at what we just got to witness. What a round coming in from Team Allegiance. I'm so impressed and I'm so hyped to see what more they have in store for us. With that being said, round 4 will be underway. And let's see what that brings us.
Round 4 will be underway on third floor bar and cocktail lounge, ladies and gentlemen. A fantastic third round, coming out from the side of Allegiance, reading exactly into what Red Vipers was trying to do and shutting them down one by one, making sure that just by extending their attack, like holding off on their attack, extending the timer just a little bit, they made Red Vipers a little bit more impatient, who were jumping around all over the place. Unfortunately, they were caught with their with their concentration broken, their guards down, and they were taken off one by one. Allegiance, very well done to them, as Red Vipers, they are now the ones that I'll be saying need to pick themselves back up from this situation. As we can see, Buckshot and Buttress actually have been doing most of the killing work, but it's the early rounds, of course. There's no standout fragging performances just yet. Fairly standard Rainbow Six Siege coming out from both teams right now. But I am very interested to know what is Buttress's mindset right now, seeing that he has been bringing out the thermite constantly, even when Ace exists. I mean, you don't get to see that. I believe, just like Tachanka the other day, Thermite is in a similar position when it comes to competitive Rainbow, that with Ace, currently as he is, Thermite doesn't get to see that much play. You see Hibana for hatches, you see Maverick for being sneaky, and you see Ace for the big breaches. But Buttress is here to make a statement today, ladies and gentlemen, that Thermite is still just as good as he always has been. And of course, nobody is going to argue that. Thermite, it will always be good. He's always been good. It's just the fact that Ace is better. Regardless, coming back to the point at hand right now. Third floor bar. Ooh, Buckshot's actually started things off already by killing Asterix as the Goyo falls. Was that from below or was that on second floor? We'll never find out, I guess, but he's trying to go for some underneath kills again, and that is potentially the mute Sean, who's standing on the desk. Buckshot doesn't know this, of course, as he's trying to find where Sean's playing. More verticality being established right now, as the mute knows exactly where Buckshot is, mind you, but he doesn't have the line of sight, and I don't think he wants to open any more lines of sight either, but he's going to be flashed right now from the cocktail balcony window. But still no action taken to remove Mute from his position. I feel like Allegiance doesn't want to waste too much time on that. They know that verticality can be an odd thing, and they don't want to invest too much time, as that was, okay, very interesting hide and seek session with the drone that Anaconda had right there. But it's a more intel denied for Allegiance, as there's a drop into red stairs, and Buckshot's going to find Sean finally taking the meat down. His persistence and patience has prevailed, as okay, I'm very interested to see what Kurosaki did right there. He peeked, he knew where the Zofia was, and Milakron will finally go down, but that's Anaconda who takes that kill, and the SMG is trying to find the IQ, but Roxanne's gonna be downed. Will he be taken down? Not just yet. Buttress has made his way in, and he will find Anaconda on the push back to site, leaving Kurosaki the last one remaining, seeing as Roxanne is still down, and there goes Kurosaki as well. Buckshot! That is a 4K for the Buck right there. Very well done, as we'll see that in the Act Fibernet instant replay right there. Very, very good round coming out from Allegiance once again, as third floor bar now goes to them, and they are making a statement on this match, as now on round 5 they are 3-1 up on Cafe Dostoevsky.
Boy, oh boy, that was a round and a half for Buckshot especially, and very true to his name, brought out the Buck and made sure all of his shots connected. 4K for the man, and a really good round coming in from the side of Team Allegiance. And looks like there's been a reverse request, as Kurosaki sadly has disconnected. So you guys are stuck with us for a while. But coming back to the fact that these teams happen to be so experienced, especially Red Vipers, I'm not Sure. See, I do know Buckshot from ex AKT and the history and whatnot. I do know only that player. Everybody else from Allegiance, I'm totally unaware of where they happen to hail from. No history, no idea who they happen to be. I I'm very surprised the way they played out. Honestly, I was not expecting them to put out such an amazing performance. They just happened to be performing so well and happening to be beating them, at least happening to be beating Red Vipers so far. But going ahead, let's see what we've got for ourselves. Blackjack, what are your thoughts on this match going ahead? 3-1 is indeed the scoreline.
Yep, it indeed is. 3-1 is the scoreline in the early round, ladies and gentlemen. And it is a fantastic game that Allegiance are pulling out. Mind you, this is the same team, Allegiance that is, who went 7-4 against Mercenaries. I mean, Mercenaries were the ones who won that 7-4, of course. But even then, even in many rounds, Allegiance were actually pushing Mercenaries pretty hard. And they still managed to take 4 rounds. And it was, I believe, a match on Cafe. So they're coming back to a strong turf for themselves. And they'll be looking to make these rounds count. Let me just quickly verify that it was, in fact, a Cafe match. And no, turns out it was a Villa match. So unfortunate, I got that wrong.
Hey,
But
speaking of maps though, today we've had quite the diversity in it. Like I'm glad we get to cast that diversity
oh
because
yes,
honestly, casting the same map over and over again gets a little bit boring. That's it. I'm not
6
complaining.
matches of Clubhouse later.
We remember that day. I
Sadness
just cannot
ensues.
forget that day. That entire day we only casted Clubhouse, and boy, that was tiresome. That was tiresome
Oh,
indeed.
it was. Uh,
Well,
but
that out of the way, we've got the players up and running. I believe they'll be joining us soon. But right now, I actually want to ask you something, Blackjack. We've got the Division One Week One done already. All right, so that is done and dusted.
yep.
We got to see so many upsets. We got to see so many change ups. What Division Two happens to surprise me is with the fact that you cannot really predict anything in this. The way Division Two has been treating itself is just the fact that it's not even the fact that you're having a bad day or a good day as a team. Everybody in Division Two, they are trying to make sure they get that piece of cake in Division One because hey, Division One is, of course, the highest tier you can compete on in the Pro League, and obviously followed with a huge amount of prize money.
Oh
So
yes.
everybody wants a piece of that, and that's why when it comes back to matches of Division Two, I'm so excited to cast because every single player, every single team is always on the try hard mode, as we like to call it. That just adds so much more fun to the game. And going ahead, I'm expecting that from Division 3 as well. And mind you, people, we are walking into Division 3 very blind this time around. There are so many teams that will, new teams that is, will be getting to see from tomorrow and the day after that. That is to brighten up your weekend. We've got non-stop R6 for you guys, except for Mondays. We casters like to
I
take some
mean,
rest as well,
yeah.
But yeah, that being said, yeah, that's pretty much it. That's exactly what I wanted to say. Division One, it's been a little predictable. It was not like I was very surprised or something. But I am surprised by Division Two, though, like just the way these matches happen to be going, even the ones that happen offline and not on stream. That is, I just cannot wait to cast Division Three with you, Blackjack, because that
Oh
for
yes.
sure is going to have so many surprises. That's going to be on tomorrow and the day after. But more on that later, people. More on that towards the end of the stream. Right now, let's come back to the match in hand. Allegiance versus Red Vipers on Cafe. Dosto, yes, K. We've got ourselves a nice match. 3-1 is indeed the scoreline. Do you think, Blackjack, that Red Vipers will be able to make that comeback and try and equalize it before the halftime and make it a 3-3? Or will that be Allegiance walking over them? Mind you, they happen to be on attack.
Well, right now, Allegiance has won 3 back-to-back rounds on attack, just like you said, Foxy, and that sets them up very well for taking the last 2 rounds of the first half. Because we saw this yesterday from Mercenaries, right? They were able to deny Allegiance the latter half of the first 6 rounds, right? They were able to make a little bit of a comeback, and then post roll swap, Mercenaries really just ran away with that game. But even when Mercenaries were winning, they were only winning even in like 3v3, which was converted into like a 3v1 situation. And in most situations, most rounds and all that, the early game was in fact going towards allegiance a lot of the time because they were taking those early kills, they were making those aggressive early peaks, and that is exactly what allegiance is doing here today. Again, this time it's working out because Red Vipers, unfortunately, we all know they're not quite, excuse me right there, they're not quite
15
up
मिनट
to
का टाइम कितना
Mercenaries
हुआ?
level, unfortunately. It sounds a little harsh, but
पर
it
10
is what it
मिनट है ना?
is. And
एक को पेनल्टी
Allegiance, of
बैन करेंगे
course,
आज, रुक जा, स्लिपिस
they
से बात
literally
करता हूँ.
start out their season with one of the very best teams in the entire region. Like, you do
No,
not
no, no, 10
start
minutes का
off a
होता रही
season like that. And like in your first match of Division 2 in division stages, first time there, first time being casted, and it's against Mercenaries. Like, I would be wide-eyed as soon as that schedule went out. But even then,
I think that's the thing that's been happening in Division One as well, because we
mhm.
saw a fairly new roster, Extremis Esports,
Oh
come
yes.
out on the first day against Union Gaming, like the defending champion, four-time champion of the league. So I think it's been 2020 hasn't really been very generous, but hey, that's just a saying. That's just a saying. I love 2020. We had so much fun with the last league, and we are now here in this pro league. It's non-stop action every single day of the week, except for the Mondays, like I said. Yeah, but hey, I'm just super happy, man. I get to see R6 every
Yep.
day. What else can I say? It's amazing.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. I absolutely agree. And just like I was saying, Allegiance, sure, similar to Extremis Esports, starting off against one of the very top teams in the entire region. Maybe not the biggest highlight of your week, but even then, both Extremis and Allegiance, they surprised us in that regard. Sure, they were going up against a top team, but they were able to push back that top team. Mind you, Extremis, they went, I believe, 4-7 as well against UG. And of course, we saw Allegiance go 4-7 against Mercs. Both times, both teams were able to push back hard. Now, whatever may be said about Extremis' second day in week one, Allegiance so far has shown that they are not ready to back down, and that neither they should be. Just like Foxy said, both these teams, all these teams in Division 2 are looking for that Division 1 spot. They want to be in the top 3 so that at the end of the season they get promoted, get to Div 1, and get to test themselves against the best of the best in the region. That is what we're looking forward to as well when it comes to this league, the Pro League and whatnot, and it's going to be a very interesting match. And an interesting time. But again, I do want to apologize to all of our viewers for the delay that's happening right now between this game, Allegiance versus Red Vipers. We've been hyping it up quite a bit. But oh, there we go. Red Vipers has all of their players back in the lobby. So looks like we will in fact be able to get back to the game nice and quickly without farther delay for all of our viewers at home, and it should be a very interesting next set of games. The rehost, of course, was called from the side of Red Viper, so they will no longer have their rehost available, and the only rehost outside of admin rehost, of course, will be from the side of Allegiance if and when they need it. Of course, you can use rehost strategically, and of course the standard use is whenever a player disconnects and can't come back. All that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the match in Cafe Dostoevsky is coming back live to your screens right now as all the players are back, and we are back with the match. Cafe Dostoevsky is here for all of our viewers to be entertained from, and this match, I feel like, is only just getting started.
That is so true, Blackjack. I feel the same. This match is only getting started because they've set up a pace, they've set up a bar that they've got to be themselves. 3-1, a nice scoreline I'm getting to see from the side of Allegiance. Let's see if they'll be able to stand up against them or not. Red Vipers, that is. We'll be seeing them go once again on the Bar and Cocktail. Mind you, they only have won the first round in Bar and Cocktail against Allegiance, and that just puts so much more in perspective. They'll be going to Bar and Cocktail the third time this time around. Let's see if they happen to win this or not. The sixth pick will be in from the Smoke of the Valkyrie. I'm not sure if that's the best pick, But right now, I think I'm gonna bank on it because they've got the alibi running. They want the Valkyrie for the information trade-off. They want to make sure that they approach this a little more, frag heavy. Going ahead, we've got Buckshot. He's going to be running the sledge this time around, and not the Buck. Milakron will be on the Zofia once again, and not a huge shift in terms of how the operative roles look like on the side of the attack, but on the side of the defense, though, it looks similar. Honestly, it just looks the same, just the way it was. We've got Anaconda. He's running the Jaeger instead of Kurosaki because he's going to be in the alibi. I can only understand why you want to be doing that because you've got so much more emphasis in terms of how you happen to hold down a side. The alibis prismas are definitely going to help throw off allegiance, at least while they happen to go for the rappel game, while they happen to make the push happen on the side of Cigar, and most importantly, trying to clear out the dark spot that is inside the Cigar lounges. Let's see how that helps them. Going ahead, the match is already underway, the prep phase is ended, and we are into the action phase, people. Raksan, he's got the My Ace throw, just going to make sure he gets some bullet holes prepped and ready for himself. Meanwhile, we've got Sean on the Valkyrie as well, just fighting away to Glory. Anaconda, once again, he'll be playing on the Shaiko spot. Hopefully this time around, he does get himself a nice angle. But Kurosaki's already found a frag, but Buckshot is here to refrag right back. Came on to Kurosaki. That was quick turn up, in fact. A quick trade-off as well. A 4 vs 4 has indeed been established right back in and very early into the round, not even hitting the 2-minute 20-second mark so far. Let's see what we've got for us going ahead. The Maestro's still a little busy making rotation goals, quite hilariously so. But hey, it's okay. You're not exactly in a whole lot of danger. Sledge, that is a Buckshot, trying to watch if that aggression from the Jaeger is coming in or not. But hey, he's just gonna sit here, just make sure that nobody's trying to get over aggressive. As I quickly see that I actually don't. Yeah, there we go. I just had a little bit of a lag on my screen, so I couldn't see what just happened in that little quick second. But hey, Buckshot is here. He's just gonna make sure that he gets another kill. All right, he's gonna drop asterisks as well. That's a huge one. Let's see going ahead what we've got for ourselves. Finding them in a really tough spot. Of course, and the peak from Anaconda is going to get the first frag in.
Oh dear, we seem to have had a little bit of an unfortunate disconnect from Foxy, but right now the match is a priority, ladies and gentlemen, as Red Vipers are taking the lead slowly but surely. Allegiance is left with only 2 operators, and that is Arrow and Buckshot remaining for the side of the attack. Arrow trying to make his way inside of Piano will not be able to, neither will Buckshot. They've dropped down red stairs, Hatch, but Anaconda's here to meet them, but no! That's a great play coming out from Buckshot to find the Jaeger. He's gonna have to reload nice and quickly as Maestro and Valkyrie are the last remaining for the side of Red Vipers. It's a 2 vs 2 with 40 seconds remaining. It's going to be a mad scramble right towards the end, and oh, that would have been a team kill. Arrow barely survives that, as unfortunately Buckshot and Arrow butted heads for just a second, and that's going to make this push even harder on both of these players. The entry has been spotted. Raksan knows what he has to do. Is he aware of the IQ though? He is now, and he will take that kill, and he will take the other one. Buckshot goes down, and Red Vipers will be the ones winning round 5, coming back on a 3rd floor bar. They're the ones who are going to win a round. Finally, they needed this, and they're 1 round closer to equalizing against the side of Allegiance. As round 6 will be underway, the last round before roll swap. 3-2 is the scoreline right now, and it is looking like a very, very interesting match indeed. Not making the mistake of going down to 1st floor kitchen, the side of the defense, Red Vipers, are going to go to 2nd floor reading room right at the bat from that first couple rounds of misfortune that they had on 1st floor kitchen, to say the least. And Allegiance are going to need to once again tighten themselves back up. It's almost like Allegiance coming back, you know, the first round of match or first round post Rios, they have, you know, an unfortunate time. Maybe they're just trying to recalibrate themselves and whatnot. But even then, Allegiance is a good team. And Red Vipers, of course, former Instinct Esports. We're looking at them with familiarity. And Allegiance is, in some ways, the underdogs right here. Again, unknown team facing up against one of the better teams in the region. Instinct Esports, of course, everybody remembers their great plays from the previous league. And Red Vipers, as the name they go by right now, will be looking to continue that legacy of having some great plays and a huge potential to become a top team. Allegiance, in the meanwhile, mind you, they could be your TRN8 Valiant, so to speak, as if they continue improving the rate at which they have in just these first 2 days alone, we could have another Valiance on our hands, and then Division 1 would really become spicy, because that means a lot of teams would be fighting for that Div 1 spot against a very good teams. That's what we're here to see, ladies and gentlemen. Old big teams who may fall, may not, of course, and new teams rising. That is the whole spice of esports. But that is a discussion for another day. Buttress, in the meanwhile, has taken a bit of damage. He's not out of it just yet, of course. A little under half HP as Valkyrie is trying to find some gunfights, some heads to pop. Asterix is trying to get these kills, but he won't be able to. Anaconda holding down Dark Spot of Piano. Nothing too much coming out of him either, as the IQ's ID scanner is going to give away the fact that there's some sort of utility, probably a proximity sensor from Rakan on top of Whiskey Window. Buckshot's going to go down in the meanwhile, and another one from Anaconda. The man is popping off. He sees the third head, isn't able to connect in time before he runs out of bullets, and now there's somebody on red stairs. Will he see him? Not quite yet. Big Base is going to go down to Kurosaki in the meanwhile, leaving Malakran and Buttress the last two remaining. Make that Buttress the last one remaining. The Thermite outside of Mining Window is the only one alive for the side of the attack. He's trying to find some heads right now, but crouched behind that ventilation unit, he can only do so much, as there's probably going to be a big jump out coming out any second now. He's going to see one. He takes one kill, but it's a big all-man jump out from the side of Red Vipers. Everybody was out of the building. They didn't want to stay in a second longer, as we'll get to see that in the Act 5 at an instant replay. Nobody wanted to enjoy the interior of Cafe. They wanted to enjoy the winds outside and possibly get a Thermite on the way, which is what they did, which means now the match is equalized, ladies and gentlemen. 3-3 in no one's favor going into round 7. Role swap. And we're headed to second floor reading room once again.
Well, 3-3 is indeed the scoreline, and halftime is where we've reached. Round 7 will be underway. We're getting 6 pick coming in from Buckshot already. From the Jaeger onto the Clash. I'm not sure if that's the best option for them right now. Not only do they not have the Mamai, but they've eliminated the only projectile counter operator that they had for themselves. Jaeger is out the board. We've got Anaconda, so many projectiles on the Zofia. Kurosaki with the nades. Asterix has got his flashes as well. I mean, that does not come out to be as lethal as the other stuff I spoke about. But then again, that is still very scary. You know, you don't want to get flashed and then pushed onto. That being said, we'll be going ahead with round 7. Eisen, could we take a quick look at the scoreboard if that is? Because there we go. That is after the reverse, of course, people. Anaconda did get to pop off along with Roxanne, so that is why they happen to be on 4 kills for themselves. But Buckshot, for himself, he's going to be on 3. Really good stuff I'm getting to see from Team Allegiance over here. Let's see what more we get to see from them with the role swap happen. They most definitely happen to stay on a very good advantage just because they happen to be on defense. You know how Kappa happens to favor the defender side, and with the bans Thatcher, Maverick, Wamai, and Mira, most definitely is something that you want to make sure you convert for yourselves and make the best use of a defensive round. But it looks like there's going to be a rush from the side of, oh, there is. Red Vipers is so ready for this rush. It's going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a frenzy. It's going to be a quick turn of events, and there you go. It's on and already. Kurosaki with the soft reach is going to make his way on the side. Sean is already going for the plan. Kurosaki is pushing deep, but there's a Maestro. He's going to get shut down. The Altar does not even come alive, but the top floor angle is being watched. Buckshot gets a frag, and Anaconda is here to drop on Kurosaki onto another. That's a super kill for the man. It's Orlando Milakron. Will he get the final frag or not? It's going to be the Legion in 1 versus 3. He won't even survive the first one, and round 7 goes to Red Vipers off of a rush that they happen to play amazingly well, and we'll be seeing that in the Act 5 in its instant replay. What a play coming in from Red Vipers, perfectly reading into the fact that Team Allegiance is getting too overly methodical. Let's just rush side and end this match and get the plan down. What a round coming in from them. Red Vipers take the advantage away from the side of their opponents, and that is going to be Team Allegiance. Not exactly sitting in the best of places right now after that rush from them onto the side of reading room and reading room. Yeah, that is right. Round 8 will be underway. We've got our scores 3-4. Let's see if the equalizer is right back in place from Team Allegiance, or will it just be Red Vipers taking this advantage further?
Well, looks like Allegiance is slowly starting to lose it. I'm not sure what quite happened between the rehosts right there. But coming back from the rehosts, Red Vipers have won 3 rounds in a row now. And the side of Allegiance are looking much, much worse for wear. They need to try and get themselves back into flow if they want to continue to win rounds in this match. And they're going to be looking to do that as we move farther and farther with this game. 4-3 is the scoreline in favor of Red Vipers. And we are headed, of course, excuse me right there, to first floor kitchen and kitchen service and kitchen cooking, of course. There is no dining room here. But coming back to the point at hand, I'm interested to see that Buttress has brought in a... excuse me right there. Buttress has brought in a warden to try and counteract any sort of flashbangs or whatnot being brought in by the side of Red Vipers. But curiously enough, smokes, I don't think... Okay, outside of Ace, no one is bringing smokes, of course. And there's the flashbangs from Ash. But other than that, there isn't much from the side of Red Vipers that Allegiance, that Warden, excuse me, will be able to counter specifically. Maybe they were expecting a different kind of operator to be brought in as Valkyrie's black eye cameras or some sort of utilities being hunted down by Roxanne for the time being. Of course, there are no black eye cameras as a Selma breach is going to go off on small bakery. That's going to force the Maestro out of his position back into sight. He might want to reinforce that back off if the defenders have any reinforcements, of course. And now the push into big bakery is successful. However, there's still a Banshee that needs to be taken care of. Looks like the Ash has just flashed himself. Asterix right there is going to finally take care of that Banshee. And now the push in the side comes in, but there goes Big Base. That's a big drop. The Maestro is fallen, and that is unfortunate for Allegiance. They did not need to lose that operator that quickly, and now Prep Room is about to be pushed hard. Arrow's trying to come in, but the SMG-11 has only so many bullets as Butcher's trying to play along with the MPX in hand. Will he find somebody? Not yet, though. That rotate isn't really serving him too much, but he will be taken down and pushed through the wall even from Kurosaki. Beautiful shot right there, but he'll be refragged onto Buckshot. Gets one, he gets refragged. Arrow gets one as well. Asterix will fall, and now suddenly it is a 3v2 for Red Vipers, who are once again looking like they might win this round. They've got plenty of time remaining to execute a 3-man push right now, and that is what they're looking to do. However, the mute inside of Prep Room, or the Prep Room door that is, might just be the biggest thing they have to worry about. Outside of Jaeger, of course, who will actually find one. Malakrin comes in, and he will say, no, I'm the thing you need to worry about, and he's going to take down Roxanne. Anaconda's trying to go for a long flank right now. Will he steal one? He will. He does some damage. Actually, he doesn't do any damage to Malakrin, curiously enough. As the shots are fired, Sean will find Arrow. That's a big drop right now, leaving Malakrin the last one standing. The Jaeger in a 1v2. He's come in, but no, he does not get the kill on Sean, as the ace with the AK proves to be too much. Red Vipers will win another round 8 going to them, as we've seen the Act Fibernet instant replay right there. And they are pulling round after round to give themselves an even bigger lead. 5-3 is the scoreline. And we're headed into round 9, third floor bar and cocktail lounge.
Well, that was quite the flick coming in from Sean towards the end there. Honestly, I was not expecting to win that gunfight. When the Jaeger happened to peek that hallway on from the prep room, I thought, all right, it's the ace is going to die. But he made sure that he came in with that flick, and really well done. RV sit 1 round away from taking this to match point. 3-5 is indeed the scoreline, and we're going to see the 6 picks coming in from the Ash, not the Capitao, and from the Ella onto the Valkyrie.
Attackers need to locate.
Great stuff from both these teams, but it's been Red Vipers standing on top of Allegiance, Team Allegiance for a while. They did happen to come close, and from the looks of it, Allegiance is giving a tough fight to what Red Vipers is coming up with. But it's just the fact that Red Vipers is able to perform in moments where Allegiance is just not able to. Good decision making is what has kept Red Vipers alive so far, and more than that, kept them in this advantage. Going ahead, let's see what we've got for ourselves. Buckshot has brought up the Melusi this time around, while it will be Arrow who's on the smoke. So, loving the fact that we're getting to see so much more emphasis in terms of how Plan Denial is supposed to go down. Arrow is going to be the first very obvious immediate Plan Denial operator, or at least try and push back all the attackers trying to push the guard launches. Oh, but look at this run out trying to go for the River Dog spawn peak. He's not going to find anybody. Buckshot almost getting found himself, though, by the ace. Sean knowing exactly what's up, taking a sweet time to come back. And now, he's just going to make sure he makes his push, or rather, perhaps some other window that he maybe is planning to go for a run out later. Arrow taking so much damage, I'm not sure where that smoke is being lit from. That's from the skylight, I believe. He could have just gotten like he could go for a capital bolt thingy right now, you know, just to end the life of the smoke. But hey, he's not doing that yet. And Asterix, I don't think he knows how much damage he's done to Arrow right now. The fireballs will not be coming out from the capital, not yet though. But here's the push-up from the Jaeger already. He does know there's somebody inside piano, but is there? There is, in fact. Kurosaki's inside piano. He wants to go for this big, but no. Toxic Bake comes out. Kurosaki taking so much damage. Where is that coming from? That's from the Shaiko spot. He's so confused with what to do right now. He's got to go wide about this. He's got to get the free frag onto the Jaeger. The confirmation is in. Reload time is gonna he's gonna make him push him off the barrage. No, he's still gotta get it. Kurosaki gets a frag, and meanwhile Anaconda drops another. Buttress goes down. It's all out of Buckshot and Big Bass. Will they be able to get this or not? A 2 versus 5 looks highly impossible, but this is the game where impossible stuff happens every single day. A 2 versus 5, they're trying to make this push up. There goes one of the defenders, and here's the refrag, but it won't matter for long as a frenzy of kills drop and Red Vipers comes out on top. Round 9 will be theirs, and they'll be going to match point, I believe that is, as we take a quick look at that frenzy of kills and that huge scramble towards the end of the round there in the Act 5 minutes instant replay. Round 10 is underway, and Red Vipers sit on match point.
Well, this is certainly quite the turnaround from the side of Red Vipers, who have completely shut down the defense of Allegiance on 3 rounds back-to-back, along with the 2 that they won, along with the 2 that were the previous defensive rounds that they had, rounds 5 and 6, that is. Excuse me for losing my trail for a quick second right there. I tend to do that these days, apparently. But come back to the point at hand. Third floor bar and cocktail lounge will be the side of choice once again from the side of Allegiance, who are looking more and more desperate to win a round. They just need just one, and they'll be able to turn things around for themselves. But it's looking mighty impossible. Well, not impossible, but improbable right now for them. As they cannot even mess up once. If they mess up once, they are done. They have to play absolute pitch perfect Rainbow Six Siege for the next 3 rounds back to back. If they are not able to, then they will fall, and Red Vipers will make more than sure of that.
5 seconds remaining.
Action phase is about to begin on what could potentially be the very last round of the map, ladies and gentlemen. And just like yesterday, Allegiance has given Red Vipers a tough fight. But again, it's come down to those last late round scrambles where they unfortunately have not won their rounds. They've not won their gunfights. They've made some unfortunate decisions. They've not backed each other up. And unfortunately for them, it's cost them potentially 2 games now. We'll find out in just a moment as shots are going to be fired and hatches are going to be opened from the side of Red Vipers, who are looking to get into sight as quickly and as efficiently as possible. White Stairs door is being watched, I believe. That's Anaconda on the rappel on the southern end of Cafe, of course. And he knows exactly why he needs to do that, because he is very apprehensive of getting peeked from that angle. He even has a drone there, as far as I believe. But only so much intel is needed, seeing as he is currently... Oh, he's back to watch me. Never mind. Frag rate comes out to try and take care of any defender utilities, right below the Heaven hatch right there. as Arrow and Malakran are the ones holding down Dark Spot and bathrooms on 3rd floor right now. Ace's summer breaches are going to go off with a minute 45 remaining. Red Vipers has plenty of time to make this push happen, to get themselves into sight and to get those kills. Red marks are coming out, and Anaconda's Claymore is going to claim Buckshot. Very unfortunate for the side of the defense, as the Melusi will go down early from just a Claymore, really. That's really all it was. Pushes in. Malakran's going to take some damage from an impact grenade as Butcher's going to go down to Roxanne. And slowly but surely it's looking worse and worse. But there's a Maestro, Evil Eye, coming in right towards the end. Potentially, that's down to Roxanne. The IQ will be revived back up to 20 HP. Gas grenades are going out. But Big Base is going to take the fall. And Roxanne's going to go down. No, Malakran's going to go down. As, oh boy, so many bodies are being dropped out. Is the last one standing in a 1v3. He's trying to deny the plant. He's going to find one. He's on a double kill. He's found two. But he needs to find the planter. Does he know where he is? He does not so far. And it's all between Sean and Arrow, the last two standing. Sean's the one who got the planter, of course. He's the ace, and he has to be very careful on what angle he decides to peek. Arrow himself has pushed up towards bathroom. Sean is by Whiskey Window, and it's all going to be a mind game right now between these two players. Who is going to come out on top? There's only 70 seconds remaining as Arrow is going to make the push, maybe to try and get the kill. He's giving away his position with these pre-fires, though, and the smoke is known. He's going for that summer breach. No, he's not. He's on New Hatch, and the ace is trying to push him as well. So many bullets are being traded. The pistol comes out, and it will work! Arrow will go down, and we will see that in the Act 5-minute instant replay, ladies and gentlemen. But oh dear me, it was such a great attempt right at the end from the smoke. Arrow gave it his all, and it could have been the 1v3 post-plant clutch from the man, but it was not to be, as Red Vipers, with 6 rounds straight of winning, have won Cafe Dostoevsky 7-3 in their favor, ladies and gentlemen. Very, very unfortunate for Allegiance. They looked so strong in the early bit of the game, all the way until round 5 when the rehost happened, and coming back from which Red Vipers completely shut down the side of Allegiance. Cafe Dostoevsky ends, the match ends, and Red Vipers stand tall.
Well, 7 looks like Cafe Dostoevsky ends is what Blackjack was trying to say, and so does the match. Just like Blackjack said, a very dominating performance coming in from the side of Allegiance in the beginning of the match, but that was just not the case when we happened to go in there. So we'll be quickly going into reliving the moment right now as as we get Blackjack back in. Oh, I was the one frozen. I thought you were the one frozen. What's going on? Hey, Discord. We are trying to relive the moments of the matches here, and this is what happens to us. Come on. But yeah, speaking of which, it was quite the scramble though when it came to this match. I was very, very confident in the fact that Allegiance is going to be the one who is going to walk away with the victory, because they look very strong, not just in terms of getting the first 3 rounds on board. The fact that they were very composed, they were very methodical in the way they happened to make the pushes happen, XYZ, whatnot, everything was going right for them until after the rehost. They made sure they got that break in, that is Red Vipers, strategized, reanalyzed everything that they were going wrong, and it's been just them winning every single round after that. Really good stuff from Red Vipers, and I'll be expecting more from them going ahead in the further match days of Division 2. But right now, I would say I'm ending this last match on a good note. The fact that we got to see an amazing day 2 of Division 2. It's been 2 good days of watching Division 2 matches, and I cannot wait to hop on to tomorrow, where it's going to be Division 3 matches day 1. So much more is coming our way. But right now, speaking of the match in specific, look at that. The round where the thermite happened to, everybody just happened to just run outside and try and grab the thermite. Everybody wanted a piece of the skill. I want to make sure that he does not walk away from this little area that he's happened to be boxed out on. And I think that was a good decision making coming in from Red Vipers to eliminate him when they did. And oh boy, this rush, cannot believe what just came out of it. straight up on the side, eliminating the maestro is all that they needed. That was the only anchor on side. Rest all, everybody just dropped like flies, walking into the groceries themselves. A really good rush and a really good read from Red Vipers, understanding what they're supposed to be doing right and what they were not able to do right before. That being said, over to you, Blackjack, in terms of how you think this match happened to play out, and what are your thoughts on this in general?
Well, one thing's for sure, Foxy. It's been an entertaining match regardless of how you look at it because, again, sure, going past the rehost on round 5, it's been a one-sided game. Red Vipers, they pulled out some fantastic plays right towards the end. And just like yesterday's match against Mercenaries, Allegiance, they pushed back and they were actually able to push back pretty hard on a lot of situations. But what they really, really need to improve is their late game. They really need to work on that late game if they want to improve even farther as a competitive Rainbow Six team. Their late game has suffered time and time again, and they really need to look into that. I really hope they go back over this week's VODs, both of their matches against Mercenaries and now against Red Vipers, and they really analyze where they went wrong, because unfortunately for them, it was just not to be. Again, just like the match we had, Love Bomb versus Dauntless Esports. Love Bomb, we were expecting quite a few things out of. I mean, that was the case, but then they got 7-1'd by Dauntless Esports. So, it is one of those days, I guess. But 3 very different match types, actually, now that I look at it, because the first game that we had, Valiant, excuse me, right there. The first game that we had between Valiant and eSamurai Esports, that was a huge game. All the way to maximum overtime, 8-7 to the favor of ESM. Valiants, they gave it their all, really. And it is a little saddening to see them lose, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure they are more than satisfied with how far they managed to push ESM into a corner right there. Coming to the second match of the day, we had Love Bomb versus Dauntless Esports, a very different match, a polar opposite, in fact, to the first game. 7-1 to Dauntless Esports as Love Bomb. You have to feel sad for them. 0-7 yesterday and 1-7 today. It's a bad time to be a Love Bomb fan, to be sure. Hopefully they can pick themselves out of this little slump that they found themselves in next week when we come back with Division 2. However, of course, Red Vipers versus Allegiance, it was a game of turnarounds because round 1, Red Vipers. Then 3 rounds went to Allegiance. We had the rehost. Red Vipers came back, dominated the game. It was a very, very decisive game and somewhat one-sided right towards the end there. But even then, it was well played by both teams. Red Vipers 7-3 in their favor on Cafe Dostoevsky. With all of that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for Division 2 in Week 1 of Season 1 of the WD BLACK Esports Club Pro League for Rainbow Six Siege. And we are going to come back tomorrow with more games. This time, just like Foxy said, it's almost like a brand new division. Division 3 will be in play tomorrow. And we'll see you with that when we come back live. Stay tuned and good night.
Hey, also, we log off people, we'll make sure that we roll every single highlights of today for you, and in the BRB screens, so just so you have a overview of everything that just went down. I don't want you guys to miss out on anything, and just to make sure that even if you did, you can catch a glimpse of that, and hey, enjoy everything that happens to go out. But before we go into that, Blackjack, it's been amazing. Division 2 day 2 casting with you. I cannot believe what we got to see today. A huge roller coaster of emotions. But that being said, that'll be it from me and him. We'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. And like Blackjack said, Division 3 is going to be full of surprises. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay tuned.